Okay, take 15. Spit shit rap with a gulp and a sputter. I put no time into the rhyme, I put my thoughts in the gutter. And it's the pits, this crabs crashing hot as a shutter. But in the back we got the dog that's looking good under butter. We got a dipshit rat coming talking about the literal. Sweet as sugar, dime, sickening as a profiterole. And this'll be up on the physical. Listen to me now, the information's mission critical. He's looking fancier than Dateline, booking all the parties when they heard me through the grapevine. Yeah, now I'm swerving over paint lines, hooking all the hotties with my funny dairy canine. Yeah, and if you're hating this, it ain't mine. Baited your engagement looking like the host of Dateline. Yeah, my work is sicker than a hate crime, quicken my demise cause I'm a homo writing gay rhymes. Fuck, I'm really churning the track. I pack a punch and leave a burden like a panic attack. I pass my judgment then bereave you of the skunk in your sack. My time is money on the clock, I bring the pendulum back. In fact, imagine what happens when I really attack. I'll write you dead into a corner with a shiv in your back. I'm feeling really silly, these are just the jokes that I crack. Detract from the meaning, leaning in the ways of the pride that I lack. And all my missiles are homing, don't pack a pistol, pen's enough to pick a pertinent phony. The only problem's my prescription with a lecherous doggy and an obscene fascination I have to put the butter on him. The end is coming, you see, but it was worth it for the practice that I got from this beat. A simple way to spend my morning makes me happy with glee. You wanna know why? I'll tell you right now, it's cause you're looking at me.
So chat. That's the butter dog with the bone on him. Now, is there any coincidence at all that I gave the butter dog the Maddie bump, and then there are now rap songs glorifying the butter dog with thousands of likes, hundreds of thousands of views have seen the butter dog. No coincidences here, chat. We don't believe in those. I'm just a progenitor of culture, I think. I'm getting a big head, because it seems like I can Thanos snap things into existence. Butter dogs into the butter dog rap song, even. Well, I think it's time to wish even more into existence, chat. It's time to sit down and do our... What's it like? It's like manifestations, affirmations. I'm manifesting it. Let's start off with some news. And to manifest the news, I need to manifest the news hamster. So here we are. We're all set. We're off to a good start. Strong, thick, solid, tight. Can't wait to see how fucking ripped the stream can get. There's actually a lot to talk about. And when there's a lot to talk about, a stream goes of one of two ways, as always. Either I meander and it lasts 4 hours, or I go through the bullet points that I set out, because I actually prepped for this stream pretty well. And then I finish it all in like an hour. Because if you don't filibuster and make jokes, the stream content, you can sum up in like a couple minutes. Anyways, let the filibustering begin. TASS, a Russian news agency, has announced that the Roskomnadzor has decided that Discord actually kind of sucks. So all the Russian kiddos as they like to say today, for some reason, adults like to say the word kiddos and not just Redditors, full-grown adults. And the kiddos of Russia will be prohibited from using Discord, which is a uninhibited win. And we're kind of early into the stream. You know what? This is out of place. I should have talked about this later. I'll come back to this. I have a thought. I'm going to have a second thought here in a second, but I'll tie this back to the Discord story. Elon Musk says make America based again, and he has changed his avatar to a picture of himself with the American flag, and he is wearing a Make America Great Again hat. Now, this is the black on black version that Nick Fuentes tried to ejaculate onto, but his stream is weak, and it only landed on his shirt. But Elon Musk appeared in person at a Donald Trump rally to endorse him and did a little yippee. And this picture has become quite the MMA because his face looks a little bit silly as he is doing the yippee. But who am I to judge, chat? Who am I to judge? There's actually I didn't even think to bring this up, but he says check out America in one of these tweets, like at America. I'll just type it here in a second if I have to. Okay, I'm going to type it, actually. It's just the YouTube, or the X channel just called America, is now just property of X. And they use it, and he's using it to, like, promote his politics, which is an interesting tactic. But then this one, oh man, this is great. If you don't
Time
know,
to cancel.
Keith Olbermann is somebody I've talked about quite a few times on stream. I was hesitant to ever talk about him because Keith Olbermann is actually somebody when I was a teenager I liked a lot. During the Bush era, he was very anti-war. He was kind of well-spoken. He did these very long, rambling, melodramatic soliloquies that I was quite fond of at the time. Like when I was a teenager, I watched Olbermann into Maddow into Lock Up Raw. That's what came up after on MSNBC, and that was my jam. I really enjoyed them. So seeing Keith Olbermann's uh, incredible mental decline following Donald Trump's run for presidency has been quite a shocking thing for me because I held him in such high regard at some point, and then it started cracking under the pressure of like there's pictures of him literally wrapped in the American flag like it's a baby's blanket and he's sucking his thumb. It's like the craziest shit. He lost his job with MSNBC. He went to some fucking rag to do like 300 episodes. And now I guess he just does his own thing by himself and nobody watches it. So this is like the post-Trump, post-Biden Keith Olbermann who is completely disintegrated mentally, and he's just like a raving fucking lunatic.
Time to cancel all the contracts and reassess his immigration status and hopefully deport him the hell out of the country. And if we can't do that by conventional means, President Biden, you have presidential immunity. Get Elon Musk the F out of our country and do it now. Time to cancel all the contracts.
So he's advocating that the government punitively cancel Elon Musk company's contracts despite its innovations in space technology that's keeping the US competitive against China because he doesn't like Elon Musk. And he's also asking that the President of the United States of America personally issue an executive order against the laws of the United States to specifically deport Elon Musk by himself out of the United States, and I suppose sees all his assets in the process, right? Like what's he gonna do outside of the country? we're just gonna revoke certain rich people's citizenships and take all their shit and deport them from the country that they live in. Are you sure? Are you really sure you want to put that on the table? Because I can think of some other things that other times in history where that's happened. You may not want to put yourself in that compartment, Mr. Olbermann. I don't think you in particular should be advocating for that. Anyway, that's funny. It's funny to me. He has a locale thread, and it's probably really deserved. It's one of the slower threads on the site, but I pay attention to it. Olbermann is fascinating to me, and I actually, at some point, I can't remember what the fuck I was doing, but I watched, like, when he was on that rag, that was like a no-name, wannabe mainstream, like, dinosaur journalist company that was propped up, and it was, like, the only company that took him. I think I'm the only person in history that ever watched every single one of those episodes. It was just like background noises. I played a video game or something, and he completely lost his fucking mind. He still to this day believes in the PP tapes, and he brings up the Russian piss tapes all the fucking time on that show. And it's like actual known debunked fucking bullshit that not even like nobody else runs with except for Keith Olbermann specifically. So he's like a bit of a personal locale of mine. He used to be like a major, mainstream, high profile, well received, highly rated, prime time slot talking head pundit for MSNBC, and now he's like a fucking stark raving mad, complete fucking lunatic that is seething and trying to advocate for asset forfeiture and mass deportation of South Africans. Very bizarre. Anyways, I'm jumping. Yeah, it's very funny. Tiki. Andrew Tate is offering $50 million to entrepreneurs. Now, this is the interesting thing is that he says, I have $50 million to grow. You submit your plan on how you'd use an investment to make money. You get rich from me funding your idea. You pay me back plus interest. And then we post all the results online. So he's got $50 million ready to send it. However, there's a problem here, and it's that plus interest. As the replies say, interest is haram. Nameless says, interest is haram. I wanted, but interest is haram. This guy says, PPC says, bro already sold sex, OnlyFans, sold crypto, rug pulled. Now he wants to make money off usury. Just people shilling their fucking crypto programs. There's a couple of replies that were making fun of him for being a usurer. He's a Muslim usurer. This guy, Muhammad Hamid says, I did have an idea. I'm not going to submit. I can't do it. Interest is haram, and rather struggle and get it started. Interest is haram. I guess if you... Oh, look, this guy too. I say this as interest is haram in Islam. He pretended to be a Muslim. I think he pretends to be Christian now. I'm not sure, but it's funny when the Muslims turn on them. In Europe, even in the EU, there are Muslim banks that don't do interest. It's a fixed interest, which is not haram. So you go to a Muslim bank and you say, I want 100,000 euros. They're like, okay. You have to pay us back in 5 years, and you have to pay us back 110,000, and that way it's not compounding interest. It's a fixed fee, and those are really popular. I want to say that the Muslim banks are like encroaching on the other people's banks because the fixed interest fee is just so like naturally better that a lot of people are willing to do that. Cool, there's that. Oh, by the way, this is a adjacent story, same week. Teen obsessed with Andrew Tate beats woman to death, then posts sickening Snapchat video. A teenage boy who murdered a woman as she worked at her kitchen table was obsessed with controversial social media influencer Andrew Tate, it has been revealed. The 17-year-old boy, who cannot be named due to his age, has been jailed for life following the brutal killing of Lorna Woodnut during the hearing at the Central Criminal Court on Thursday. It was disclosed the boy followed several such influencers online, though none were named. It has now been reported that Tate dubbed the king of toxic masculinity, which is a really, really cringe attribute to give him, because he will wear that as a term of engagement. Endearment was one of the several male role models who the boy had an unhealthy fascination. Tate, 37. I can't believe this guy's 37 years old. He looks so fucking old. That shit. Fucking face. Cool. So she died, I guess. I can't remember why. He randomly attacked her and then took a Snapchat video of it and published it online, which is how he got caught. Sucks to be British, I guess. Deadspin is a publication that ran an article about how this little boy who was supporting the Kansas City Chiefs was a racist for wearing not only blackface, but also a Indian head garment, which of course is a traditional religious symbol for them. It would be like wearing the kippah or something, and it desecrated their tribal culture and traditions. Problem is that he is the son of the chief of the Indian tribe, and that head garment he's wearing is a family heirloom that has been in his custody for several generations. So this happened during the Super Bowl where Taylor Swift won the NFL that year, and the litigation has been ongoing since then. They tried to do a First Amendment thing to try to get it dismissed outright for defamation, and they have failed. So the big hurdle in any defamation case, surviving that initial shit test, has been beaten by the Indian boy, and Deadspin is now in the money zone, basically. From here on out, it's a real civil case. It's very expensive to deal with, and the outcome can be really, really bad for them. So they're probably going to settle at this point. They tried their First Amendment gambit, and it didn't work. So now we're in settlement territory for the kid. Sucks to suck. This, by the way, I didn't have a news article for this, but I read recently that a couple boys in a college campus had posted or had pictures of them taken where they were wearing a black charcoal acne mask, and they were all expelled for wearing blackface, and they settled out of court with the university, and they each received like multi-million-dollar payments for for being expelled, for wearing an acne mask, and people saying that it's fucking racist. So I'm kind of happy to see that the whole "we're gonna ruin your life arbitrarily over perceived racism" shit is now ending up in people losing ass loads of fucking money left and right. Really nice to see. Maybe people will mind their own fucking business for once. How about it? Cool. All good news so far. I'm moving pretty fast though. So that's why I said you gotta be careful. Moving right along with the news stuff. I'm gonna try refreshing kick. Yeah, there we go. There's my numbers. Need the bigger number. Okay. This guy tried to do the thing where you set yourself on fire and chant "Free Palestine." However, a really important part of doing that is you gotta die afterwards, because third-degree burns are like the most incredibly painful fucking thing that you could ever imagine suffering through. This guy did the whole "Free Palestine" thing, and then he lit himself on fire. But this is the wacky hijinks part. But people nearby had water bottles, and they just put him out. So now he's in the hospital, suffering from third-degree burns on his arms, because he didn't do it right. So, shit. I'm sure those Palestinians appreciate it, though. It's the thought that counts, really, if you think about it. Oh, also, he had posted this picture on the internet on his Twitter. I'm not entirely sure what this means, but some viewers, some members of the audience, may see this image and not like it. I won't name names, but they are out there. Okay. Okay, so this was a video, and I want to say that this guy, no, did not, I don't have the, okay, this is it. I'll save you the video, but basically what it is that he walks around with his glasses, it sends snapshots to his computer runs the image through a facial detection API, and then he gets their names and whatever information that it happens to have. So all it's doing is it's using publicly available data aggregators to instantly dox every single person that he looks at in real time. And he just walks up to people and he's like, "Hey, did you like a random 7-year-old woman? Hey, did you graduate from this college? Hey, is your name Yu Son?" And they're like, "Oh my God, how'd you know?" It's like, "Well, my glasses are doxing you in real time." So, the glasses are actually from Meta. They're like Facebook glasses, and they actually are uploading those pictures to Meta in real time too. It's like a thing that they just harvest data from your eyeballs without your consent, or I guess with your consent, but without your real forward knowledge. He's just using that to do what the companies do anyways, and that's to dox you. And of course, it's raising real concerns about if people should be allowed to look up information that's publicly available online. And since I've talked about my 501c4 idea, the Internet Preservation Society, I'm really thinking that we need to, I'm going to add to my list of things that I want to do, is ban data harvesting and sale. Because everyone gets mad at people for doxing. People get mad at the data aggregators for having that information in a way that you can search it, like a phone book. And it's like, why are you not pissed that Facebook, Google, TikTok all sell your data by the $1 billion data bundles that they sell for pennies on the dollar? Why do you not get pissed off that your phone contract allows your phone company to sell your phone number and where you live to marketers? Why does that not piss you off? Why does it not piss you off that you have to opt out? You have to opt out of your electric company selling your home address and phone number in the United States. Nobody gives a shit about that. And it's like, are you you got your pants on backwards? You're mad at this kid for using publicly available information and open source technology to instantly dox people, when you should be mad that information is being shuffled around like pieces of paper on the ground. Like Scruffy the janitor just got his broom out and he's just collecting all of your private data because it's being sold for pennies a piece. I don't get it, man. California has the CCPA, and it's like every state should have the CCPA. That should be a fucking FTC regulation that you can't sell people's home address and phone number. I think that's something that you could actually achieve. Because you know what? Here's a fun fact. Congressmen, federal judges, they're exempt. You can't sell their data. So if you try to dox a judge, you're not going to find anything. In fact, there's a lot of judges out there that you can find the names of in circuit court listings, and there's no pictures of them. There are people on the bench right now who have such good privacy that despite the fact that they are in one of the most powerful positions in the entire country, don't have a photo of them on the internet because the government sweeps that shit up. But you know who doesn't get that kind of exemption? Your state Congress and your state Senate. So you can look up who's in your state Senate and state Congress, and you can type their names into white pages, and you can find out where they live. And you can send them a letter to their home where they live with a photo of their house that says, because your state doesn't have privacy laws, your phone company sold this address to fucking Spokio, and now I can dox you and your entire extended family. By the way, there's a law in California called the CCPA that kind of tightens that a little bit. You might want to look into it. Just a thought. just a little brain experiment, chat. That's my chat dead. Am I disconnected from the internet? Just cool. So I'm not mad at. Don't be mad at this kid. Be mad at Google for selling your data to begin with. You don't recommend doing that? I would never recommend anyone do anything ever at any time. I'm just saying that theoretically you could. And it may it may give some what's the word? Introspection, some thought, food for thought. They'll only tighten it for themselves? Yeah, probably. You gotta make people mad first. And it's really fucked up because voter registration is also public. That's the number one source where people find out your name, address, and phone number, is that the voter registration rolls in almost every state. You can walk up to the elections commission for your state, pay them $20, and find out where every single person in your state lives by name and address. Isn't that fucking nuts? You're penalized for voting in the U.S. That's how smart our system is. Anyways. Now, I'm sure that the marketers, by the way, all the fucking marketers, they have little lobbies. They're like the United States Voter Transparency Lobby. We're here to make sure that the vote stays open and accountable. And it's like the all the advertising companies sponsor this lobby to keep the voter rolls public so that they can harvest that shit for addresses. And of course you're not supposed to, but you can just launder it through 1 degree of separation. You just have one company that buys the information for a non-commercial purpose, and then you have the companies that harvest it for commercial purposes from that company. And it's like, oh, okay, all good now. So that's one thought. That's on my action item 501c4 agenda list. Chat for the Internet Preservation Society. I'm gonna fix the country when I come back. I'm gonna be stepping on American soil like Christopher Columbus. Like, okay, you savages, time to learn civility. I'm gonna teach you table manners. Happy Thanksgiving, motherfucker. New York. And a bunch of other states, and the District of Columbia, which is not a state, but which is its own jurisdiction, has filed a lawsuit, or rather many, many lawsuits against TikTok. So the body of lawsuit, and I did some research, chat, into these lawsuits. Here is the basis of what the states are alleging against TikTok. It is actually a mixture of civil offenses and criminal offenses. Some states have criminal offenses for the business, some have civil ones. But they're saying this. The gist is that TikTok is deliberately exploitative of underage people in various different ways. California in particular is trying a criminal suit against them for violating COPA, or COPPA. I think it's COPA. And COPA is a very old law. I want to say it's from the 1990s that says that you can't process the data, the private information of a person under the age of 13. So one of the only privacy laws that we have in the U.S. is HIPAA and under the age of 13, and that's COPA. And California is alleging that TikTok has been processing the personal information of under 13 people without parental consent. which is I think a crime. It's actually a criminal offense to do that. It can carry a big fine and penalty associated. But they variously, the suits kind of allege all the same kind of thing in different ways, but they generally say that because when you open the app, it just immediately starts playing a video, and then you swipe and it just keeps playing, and you can do this forever. The autoplay feature and the endless scrolling features are dopamine center exploiters that are not dissimilar from casinos, is what they're saying. They also say that TikTok uses its notification system to draw people back in. And a lot of apps do this where it's like you just get random ass fucking notifications like, hey, you want to see what this guy posted? And it's like, no, I don't actually. How do I turn these notifications off? Go fuck yourself. I don't give a fuck. But to the weaker mind, now obviously my mind, strong, steeled. Things come at me with notifications. I'm like, fuck you. Notifications off. But the schwach mind of the youth, they cannot handle it. They're flimsy, malleable, soft, easily broken. And when the Chinese dig their grubby little fingers into their gray matter, they can't help but to comply. So the notifications are also alleged to be a addictive quality to the app that draws their attention even when they're not trying to use TikTok. And one argument that the parental features, they say, are weak and easily broken and not effective in practice, which is an interesting point because of something else. But lastly, they say that the apps use an exploitative fear of missing out, much like casinos, and the ephemeral content. So they're saying that when they encourage people to post videos that don't last too long, like they only last like an hour, or they are deleted after the live stream ends, or something like that, they say that like that drives kids into thinking, if I don't watch this now, I'm never going to get to see it, so I better like drop what I'm doing and watch this content. And they say that's exploitative. And the most interesting part of the legislation is that they compare TikTok to TikTok, but not just any TikTok. China's TikTok, Zhongguo de Douyin, and they compare TikTok to Douyin, and they say Douyin has shorter windows for use. Like they have in the U.S., the screen limit is 60 minutes under parental control, and in China, it's 40 minutes. They say that in China, the Douyin app's parental controls are way harder to break and are actually effective at limiting screen time. They say that the app has a way to turn off autoplay, so it's less engaging. There's more friction. And that if you use the app for too long, it actually has a 5-second wait time between videos to break the habit of just scrolling endlessly, because they say that that helps create friction and gives people time to think if they want to do something else, where the other app will just endlessly suck up your time forever if you let it. So a lot of the app hinges on, and I think they even have internal memos that they put into the lawsuit that says TikTok views the American audience as like a bunch of cattle. They call it like a golden cow. You have all these young people with endless free time and nothing to do, and there's no laws preventing TikTok from exploiting them endlessly for cash. So I think that was something that caused the regulatory committees to raise red flags. They said that they had tried to contact TikTok, like the various states had complained and said like your app is too addictive. You need to do things to create more friction so that teens can pry themselves away from the app, and they were all refused. So I think in North Carolina they said that the Department of Health and Human Services tried to contact them and say like you need to do more to help young people on the app, and they're like no. So that's like the totality of all the lawsuits that I had access to. In summary, that's what they're complaining about. And that's it. I hope you found that interesting. I did. I of course, as a person very interested in China, I love hearing little things like that. It makes me laugh. Okay, now big news, chat. Big news. The seas have claimed the first battleship the first ship of war in 80 years now, since the end of World War II. And it's New Zealand. They've lost a destroyer, sank to the bottom of the sea. It was in hazardous calm waters over a coral reef that they knew was there because they were sent there on a scientific mission to explore it. And they were there to preserve this coral reef. And instead of doing that, they crashed a fucking battleship into it and sank multiple tons of steel and oil to leak out around this coral reef. And to top it all off, oh no, it's not even in this. Hold up. I ruined it. Oh wait, no. Oh, Drama Fan saved it. It was on the next tab I had set up. So here it is sinking. 3 people got injured during the sink when they evacuated it. It's a British lesbian. It's literally a DEI hired British lesbian captain. And she crashed this fucking destroyer on a scientific mission to save a coral reef into the coral reef. And they got evacuated to Samo. They were rescued by Samo. Some of the fattest, poorest people in the entire world had to send out a dinghy to collect a bunch of Kiwis that crashed their fucking scientific vessel into a coral reef because their British bulldyke lesbian captain sank that motherfucker. You pronounce it Samo. That's how the Samo people pronounce their name. It's not Samoa. I guess that's the English pronoun. I like how you say Samo. It's better. Cool. Sucks to be New Zealand, I guess. This is what you fucking deserve. Hey, New Zealand, remember when you tried to bring down my website with your nasty email? Well, guess what, motherfucker? I just sank your battleship. I use my affirmations and materializations to sink that motherfucker. Enjoy. Bish. Yeah, $103 million ship. You know what? Guess what, Kiwis? You gotta pay. You better pay for that ship. Since when do you respect savages? I don't know. I just like the name Samo better than Samoa. That sounds stupid. Samo sounds funnier. I like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's pretty cool. And he does songs, and they're pretty good. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is the only Samo person I know, and he says Samo, so therefore I will as well, chat. Biden says we're paying for that? Okay. Good to know. Why not? Cool. Now, serious faces, chat. Get the giggles out. Frowny faces or serious faces only. We gotta talk about Hurricane Milton. Hurricane Milton is a Category 5 superstorm. In fact, they're trying to classify it perhaps as a Category 6. It spawned in a very unusual place. It spawned in the middle of the Caribbean off the coast of Mexico. Usually these storms spawn off the coast of the Canary Islands, closer to Africa, and travel their way across the cold Atlantic before finally picking up steam in the Caribbean and slamming into Florida, who accepts the hurricane's offering multiple times a year, every year. Now, Milton spawned in the Caribbean, and he got really big really fast because the Caribbean waters are warm, and they're particularly warm this year. And when you start in the Caribbean and you don't cross the very cold Atlantic, you got more energy to soak up. So Milton became one of the top 10 storms in terms of barometric pressure ever recorded. Already has caused immense damage to the Yucatan Peninsula, where Ralph lives, rest in peace, and is predicted to slam into south central Florida tomorrow as perhaps one of the most dangerous storms ever to exist. In fact, there are some meteorologists speculating that Milton will reach near the peak of what the Earth can produce in terms of meteorological events in the Caribbean, given the physical restraints that exist on the planet Earth. It's effectively min-max as far as a hurricane goes, to the point where they're trying to create a new classification called Category 6 to describe these potentially extraordinarily destructive hurricanes. And when we talk about things like this, we talk about the economic damages done. And there's a little clip. It's a little bit dry, so hang in there. I'm going to play about 90 seconds of it. And we're going to listen to Yahoo Finance. And we're going to listen to an expert chief financial officer discuss the economic impact of Hurricane Milton, chat.
Category 4 Hurricane Milton is barreling towards Florida and is expected to make landfall on Wednesday. The last devastating storm to hit the U.S. was Helene. Damages from that Category 4 storm might cost over $30 billion, according to analysis by CoreLogic. And its impact on the jobs market and the economy in the southeastern part of the country is still yet to be seen.
To discuss the storm's potential impact, we want to bring in Dana Peterson, the Conference Board's chief economist. Dana, it's great to have you. So we're trying to figure out exactly the impact here, the economic impact, aside from what is most important here in terms of the health and safety of so many of those who will be and ultimately, unfortunately, will be affected by this storm. But zeroing in on the economic impact of this storm, what should investors be thinking about just in terms of the potential disruption or looming effects this could have on the economy and ultimately the labor market?
Absolutely. Certainly, initially, when the storm hits, it's very damaging and costs a lot of destruction and also disruption in terms of employment. But over time, some of those costs can be offset by rebuilding. Now, when we look at the amount of money that hurricanes have caused from 1980 through 2023, damages were upwards of $2.6 trillion. That's roughly $60 billion a year. So imagine as a share of GDP, that's like 0.2%, but it could potentially cut anywhere from up to 0.3 off of GDP after the event. However, a lot of that can potentially be offset by rebuilding, but nonetheless, it's highly disruptive. And when we look at the storms that have been coming through, they've been
and potentially, I guess, cause an overhang here within the data.
Populated or, in areas where there aren't a lot
Towards it. But at the end of the day, that's going to be a different
of any downside risks to the labor market. But there was never any indication that, or at least from the Fed, that, the labor market was in trouble. So I think that, heading...
That's unreal. This reminds me of the statistic about how, whenever people talk about socioeconomic factors and certain demographics and the propensity for violent crime, they always say, some of the richest, it doesn't even matter. Some of the wealthiest people of this demographic commit as much violent crime as the poorest people of this other demographic. And it's you have somebody here who's a chief economist, somebody who presumably has an MBA, right? 4-year education, maybe even more. It's 6 years for an MBA, right? And she can't, is it an economic policy to when it stops chirping, then you know that you need to replace it? You got to drain every drop of juice out of those smoke alarms that you can. You don't want to waste 9-volt batteries. That's not economical. Okay, chat? It really is just crazy. And what is the best way to end the news segment, chat? Can you guess? Would you like to wager a bet, chat? Would you like to predict how we're going to top this off? Could it be, chat? Could it be the end of the fucking world? Part 7? I think it is, chat. Mr. Nubley has put out a banger, as he does. His numbers are through the roof. Let's take a look at what End of the World Part 7 has for us today, chat. Okay. 41 days until the election. Oh my God. Now Mr. Nubley is getting bold. We are at an Aid for Israel benefit concert. Features the Israeli flag, Star David and all, and the U.S. flag. Featuring all-American covers of 90s Australian rock songs. Okay, that's very specific, but you got a packed audience here, so this must be good. Now, there appears to be a demon woman, a man who is bright orange and has dark poo spots on him, like he's a sausage covered in Vegemite, playing the guitar, and then a horrific-looking worm man on the drums. The demon woman holding a guitar says, There's so much chaos in the world, but today is all about love, and there's so much love in the air here. The other side only has hate, and that's why we're going to win. The audience says, "Yay! Let's get this party started." She concludes. Now, in the front row of this audience, there are boomers. These appear to be Texas boomers. One man has an enormous cock and ball erection. They're wearing high-waisted jeans, and they brought an elderly person with them who is erect, but it's like it only gets half hard, and it kind of looks like a little flaccid cone. I don't know how to describe it. And he's on his walker. They're playing music. The lyric says, I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I touch myself. Ooh. Oh God, Mr. Nubley's really going all in on this one. So overlooking this concert from one of the roofs that are actually, I was actually going to comment, it's kind of weird that he just put these high-rise buildings in the background. It's kind of like a placeholder. But we can see now that that was not a placeholder. That was a deliberate choice so that you could see the building that the sniper in the fourth and fifth panels is resting on. The music is singing out. There's a man in a Make America Great Again hat. His ass crack is showing, and he has a sniper rifle on a bipod rest. It appears to be, I want to say it's like a 5.56, and it has like a 10-round magazine. I guess this is in California. That's the best he can do. Now, the Trump tart is actually wearing, on the front end, a Ron Paul 2012 campaign shirt, and that is, I feel like that's a direct attack upon me personally. And he says "Hail Hitler" as he begins to shoot from his magazine. In the sixth panel, you actually see Trump tards getting their faces completely blown the fuck off by this guy shooting at them, while singing, "I touch myself, I touch myself, I honestly do, I touch myself, I touch myself." Then in the seventh panel, we have a MAGA guy, and this one's in like a fully loaded like combat tactical gear. He says, "A shooter, good thing I brought my $30,000 of tactical gear so I can shoot them myself." And then his fat son, who can't even zip up his pants, says, "Yeah, go get him, Dad." Now there are actually multiple tactical guys, and they're all in tactical mode. There's a thing that says tactical jelly roll, and they're going blurg, oog, blap. Oh, he's doing a roll. It's just him. It looks like there's three of them doing tactical stuff, but it's actually just him. You can see in the background that the Trump tards are getting blown to fucking pieces. And then the tactical guy manages to double a headshot both his own dog, and the dog was not there. So again, I feel personally attacked by the inclusion of this dog being shot in the fucking head, because that's a very Slaughterman looking animal. And then he blows his own son's brains out. And then there are two guys, or a man and a woman, with pieces of their face missing in the last panel, holding ice cream cones that are covered in blood and scalp, saying, "I guess you can't bring a son to a gunfight. Doggone it. There's some dog on it." And he's complaining about it's actually not scalp. It's pieces of slobber mutt on his ice cream cone. So Mr. Nubley, I think, has lost his fucking mind and is now drawing comics where a neo-Nazi Ron Paul Trump tard is using 10-round magazines to kill Trump tards at a APAC concert. I'm not actually sure what he's trying to say, but I feel deliberately attacked by this in multiple ways, which I assume is the point. He's now just making these to subtly insult me, personally. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. I caused this. I feel like I did. I feel like I did. I feel like this is my fault somehow. Okay. Okay. That is it for the news. News Hamster, you are dismissed. Thank you very much. Next, Jack Anderton says Wikipedia has changed the name of Muslim grooming gangs in the UK page to Grooming Gang Moral Panic in the UK. He says this is political interference. 1 in 73 Muslim men who live in Rotherham have been prosecuted for grooming gang-related crimes in the past 2 decades. So this is Grooming Gang Moral Panic. The Grooming Gang Moral Panic in the UK is a moral panic alleging that Asian, and then of course that's the new word for like Middle Eastern, is just to say that they're Asian because people are less racist towards Asians. Alleging that Asian, specifically South Asian, Pakistani, and Muslim men are sexually abusing young white with a capital W. Can someone fix that? That's wrong. Young white girls in the UK, right-wing and far-right activists, as well as more mainstream individuals, helped popularize the terminology in the 2010s. Dude, Asian people, you can't stand for this. Do not ever allow Middle Eastern men to be called Asian. You can get away with Indian, even though they're an enormous subcontinent that's like geographically and politically distinct from the rest of Asia. But don't let them get away with that shit. If anyone ever tries to say Muslim as like a Asian thing, you gotta be like, no, actually, it is not Asian. I am Asian. That is some fucking sand rag, child rapist, pedophile worshipping, what's the word? Camel jockey. That's what you gotta say. You gotta say it loud and proud. In your most racistly Chinese accent possible. There's a reply. Oh, by the way, this is the interesting part. San Fu, who is the name of the herb lore instructor in RuneScape, who sits at Guthix's Stonehenge in the Sears Village, not the Sears Village, the Tavelry. That's where he's at. Anyways, that's unrelated. From the bio of the admin who moved the article, as of recently, I've become increasingly involved in progressive political activism, mostly transgender, LGBT, and feminist activism as a lesbian trans person. My editing tends to fall in one of the two areas, and I'm particularly interested in expanding Wikipedia's poor coverage of transgender issues and helping to reduce the amount of cisgender, heterosexual, and male systemic bias in the encyclopedia. However, I do understand the importance of not letting my queer politics getting in the way and compromising the neutrality of our queer coverage. So this is the person who did it. Oh, from Leeds, England. Sarah. Oh, boy. Oh, look at anime. Yay. A 33-year-old trans lesbian who loves anime. Yay. Please make changes to the totality of all human knowledge. I want this person editing. You know what's really funny is that in German, the word for history and story is the same. It's Geschichte. So it's like a story and history are just the same word. Whatever the story is actually history. Germans understood this, that whoever wins gets to write history. Like this person. They won, so now they get to write history. That's how it works. They get to tell the stories, chat. Look how many stars they have on this shit. It's like their awards. It's like a North Korean general. They have all these merits. We give you a gold star in the first degree for the renaming of the article about Muslim rapist into the article about the white people who are upset about the Muslim rapist and their outrageous moral panic. Good job, cadet. Thank you, Commiserate. I will always fight for the working people who pay the taxes that give me the benefits that I need to live in Leeds and not actually have to work so I can dedicate all my time to fucking with their culture and the encyclopedias on the internet. Godspeed, you. Next. Stop the Harm database. And by the way, this is the Troon segment. This is different from the news segment. This is where I talk about trannies, chat. The Stop the Harm database is a thing. This is like an activist community, and they are focusing mostly on the genital mutilation of children in the United States. Fun topic. However, I will get to a punchline with this one, I promise. This one is analyzing not just what hospitals are the most active in child genital mutilation in the U.S., but which ones are profiting the most. Because remember that these kids who are doing genital mutilation surgeries, it's not happening for free. They're getting paid by the government for doing it. So there's a financial incentive to do it, and of course they need prescription medication for the rest of their life once you've horrifically mutilated their penises. So throughout the U.S., they have identified, I think, over 14,000 child genital mutilation surgeries, and they did a nice little chart explaining which ones are making the most money. In terms of actually performing surgeries, the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, I think Pennsylvania shows up on this like 3 times. The Connecticut Children's Medical Hospital, Children's Minnesota, shout out Minnesota, Seattle's Children's Hospital, Los Angeles, Boston Children's Hospital, Rady's Children's Hospital, the Children's National Medical Center in D.C. All these ones are chopping off penises, chopping off boobs of little girls and little boys, not respectively, in reverse order. One doctor at the Boston's Children's Hospital has made $5 million. One doctor in Massachusetts, $5 million from mutilating the cock and balls of children. And then we go down here, and this is the best part. You have the top 10 most active children's hospitals in terms of how many surgeries they're doing. And this is the fucking punchline. The Mount Sinai Medical Center is somehow the most profitable. They don't even show up in the top 12, but they made the most money doing it. I don't even know how. They're just that fucking good. We'll do less work, we'll mutilate fewer cock and balls, and we'll make the most fucking money doing it. How do they keep winning? How are they so good at what they do? I don't understand. It really is a mystery, chat. I wish I could make that much fucking money. This one, by the way, is a different hospital, because this is the Mount Sinai Medical Center. But the number 2 most profitable doctor was the Mount Sinai Beth Israel. Is one doctor made $4.5 million just mutilating children. That's awesome. Great job. This is stoptheharmdatabase.com in case you are curious to see this information for yourself. Stoptheharmdatabase.com. So trannies are mad on Twitter. What else is new? Now, this guy has like a weird art style. I'll show them like this. These are how his art stuff looks, like just in general. Like, it's weird. It has like a sexual innuendo to it. The faces are all really fucked up and unattractive. He made this woman. He did not do her a service at all in how he drew her. I don't know how the fuck he's famous. But he decided, his name is Elijah van Rijswijk, which is a Dutch name. I am 99% sure. And he decided to do a little tribute drawing to the transgender community. And this is what he came up with. Now, I'm sorry, but Elijah is an extremely attractive man. He's very handsome. I would say he's probably like an 8 or a 9 on the conventional attractiveness scale. And for some reason, this is what he does with his time. Now, I am forced to assume that Elijah is a troll. He is a true Giga Chad, Giga Chud. And he has somehow tricked people into thinking he is a serious artist. And as a result, he gets away with making these horrific caricatures of trannies and then slapping transgender. Look at the sad man tits and everything. And look at that face. It's like 99.9% expressionless, 0.1% smirk. Just the faintest. He's trying to look completely neutral. Like lukewarm milk. Just the most bland, boring, characterless expression possible. But he can't help himself. There's a slight twinge in the muscles of his face. And he is, against all his wishes, smirking. Because he fucking knows this shit is ugly. And so do the trannies. This was the reaction of trans Twitter to Elijah's artwork. Velvet says, Sorry, I will never see this sort of representation by supposed allies as anything other than laundered bigotry. They troonjack us and then slap a sticker on it saying it's a celebration of trans people. This guy? You think that this chud just troonjacked you and put a sticker on it? Is that even possible? Would Elijah do that? Look at that face. Would Elijah do that to you? I don't think so. You're being outrageous. There's a reply to this, by the way. Velvet continues and says, in that context, I don't care if they knew what they were doing were producing a transphobic caricature or not. If they can't see the resemblance to extremely common hate illustrations or are unaware of them, their art has utterly failed to reach its own goals through ignorance. I mean, it's pretty fucking dead on to me. I don't know what you're complaining about. That's pretty fucking visible. That's pretty accurate. Athena, with the trans flag and Palestine flag in his name, says, is that still there? The fact it hasn't been defaced is crazy to me. I would take spray paint to it immediately. Harpy says, it's inside a department store, so it's not that easy to vandalize. And then winner for most unhinged reply goes to Gloria Saw the TV Glow and says, had to look this up. Someone ought to be executed for this. See that thick neck? They want to cut through that neck. How dare you draw us as mentally unhinged men with sad HRT titty skittle boobs. Elijah will fucking kill you, Elijah. You're not a real ally. Life of a troon is truly a life of misery and agony, chat. Speaking of... So, let me be clear. I have not a fucking clue who this guy is, but he's ugly, so we're going to make fun of him, chat. This is Ethan Online, whose handle was Peethan Online, because of course it can't be a tranny unless they're a sexual degenerate as well, and Peethan apparently is into pee-pee. So I guess he picked his tranny name Eden based entirely off of what would work with his Twitter handle, because now he is Peetin Online. So that's what he's going for. I'd like to give you a little taste of his content. This is what he looked like before, and he just rants about conservatives being really bad, basically. Yeah. If I had seen this guy beforehand, I would have known that he's trooning out. How the right made dangerous planes a race issue. The right. He wants to be a bread tuber. He gets a lot of views. It's crazy. Now he's a heckin' valid NB. Shout out to my heckin' valid NBs. And one last update on the troon stuff. This is Kid Bandit. Kid Bandit is... second in command to James Stephanie Sterling, the Stardust, my favorite wrestler of all time, and consequently the forum's favorite wrestler of all time. Kid Bandit is like his tranny friend in the UK that does tranny wrestling with him as like his sideshow. He's been gone for a while. I think he wants to get his cock and balls removed, but he can't for whatever reason, or he's like afraid to. That's kind of been his arc recently. He says, anyways, here's some sexy pics for y'all to remember me as once I again depart. See y'all later. And he has man boobs like out and like with a towel, and he looks really bad. And he says, anyways, life update, still training, going hard, always training, crying, smiling face. Going to replay Starfield's new DLC, then train more. Feels like I'm going to be grinding for EXP for a long time, laughing with a bead of sweat emoji. But I'll be on a different level in that ring when I return, I promise. Back to training. It's okay to disappear until you feel like you again. That he retweeted. These are the videos of him doing epic training. Let's see. Damn. Holy shit. He did like a little flipperooski. Can you do a flipperooski, chat? That's what I thought, motherfucker. I'm gonna be punching something this time. Let's see this. Oh, he's doing a kick. Damn. Wait, watch that. Boom. 100,000%. 110% of the kinetic energy in that kick went straight to that thing. You could see it with your own eyes. It's really necessary when you're training that you go psh, psh, psh. It really adds to the impact. I was told that when I did martial arts. You gotta go psh, psh, psh. That's how you deliver the blow. No, he didn't. What the fuck? What was that? So you're gonna like wind up a punch like you're gonna do a Looney Tunes level 1000, cartoon slammerooski, and then you're just gonna like raise your leg up like you're a dog pissing on a fire hydrant and like flail it out at it? What's the point of that? Is that how you're gonna do you're gonna like do a fake out with Jim Sterling? You're gonna be like, I'm winding up my big epic level 1000 Goku Super Saiyan punch, and then Jim Sterling will be like, oh no, I'm gonna raise my fist over my head because I don't want to be hit with the full force of 110% of Kid Bandit's wind up puncherooski. And then as he's guarding his face, you do the fire hydrant dog piss kick right to the bitch tits. And he's gonna be like, oh no, my bitch tits were completely undefended by your massive onslaught. And then he'll just explode into gore, covering the audience of 10 people with blood and guts like confetti. I think that's what's gonna happen. He came back this weekend too to post more of these videos. I think just the one. And complain about Joker 2 or some shit. Here we go. Nice. One more time. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Kid Bandit. He's going straight to the top. #1 tranny wrestler in the entire fucking world. Mark my words. Put your life savings on that. Take your 401k out and put it all on Kid Bandit. Okay. We're officially in the actual content segment, chat. Congratulations, you survived. So with Russell Greer, 2 weeks ago was ordered to file a scheduling conference. I'll have to say this as like straight and boring as I can. In a lawsuit, a scheduling conference is basically one of the first things that happens. Once you pass the sniff test, once you get all the boring shit out of the way, your first initial volley of motions, once you start looking at an actual trial, an actual determination in a case, you got to schedule shit. You have to figure out, the two attorneys got to get together, and they got to figure out, well, I'm busy that day, I'm busy that week, I'm busy that week. We're going to need to interview this many people. We're going to have to request this many documents. We're going to do it this way. We're going to do it over this number of months. And we'll be finished with discovery 2 years from now. Something like that. It's a lot of planning. It's a big pain in the ass. You have to take it seriously. You have to sit down and dedicate the hours to figuring out how long it's going to take, what exactly you're asking for, so on and so forth. But it's one of the first things that happens in a case before you enter discovery. Now, we are 4 years into this case, and we have not had a scheduling conference, which, as I mentioned, is one of the first things that happens. So it's kind of inexcusable to be 4 years into a case and not have really completed the first actual step towards resolving the case outside of your Hail Mary motions that you file at the beginning. So the judge, the magistrate, he says, there should be a scheduling conference. Gather together the two attorneys, in this case Russell Greer and Hardin, and propose a schedule. And since it's Greer's job, because he's the one who's going to be requesting evidence in the case, it's his job to submit a draft that Hardin can go through, see if it works for him, works for us, and submit back to Greer, and so on and so forth. And the court said, get this done in a month, right? Well, Greer didn't do that. And in fact, when Hardin asked him to do that, Greer berated him, told him to stop emailing him, and says he literally doesn't fucking know how to do a scheduling conference. His words, I don't fucking know how to do this. And so he just decided not to do it. So the judge, on the last day after Greer told us to stop contacting him, which he can't really do because he's suing me. You can't sue me and also request that my counsel not contact you in regards to the lawsuit. Hardin filed all the stuff that he had, the correspondence basically, and Hardin like shrugs his shoulders and says, we don't know how to end this case because he's not going to file anything. I can't prosecute it for him because that doesn't make sense. And we can't respond to a scheduling proposal that doesn't exist. So the judge then looked at this and said, and I'll just read this. The order is, Mr. Greer has the burden to prosecute this case. Based on the procedural history of this case, the court concludes Mr. Greer has failed to file his basic duty of proposing a schedule. Therefore, the court hereby orders Mr. Greer to show cause why this case should not be dismissed for lack of prosecution. Mr. Greer must file a response to this order to a show cause before October 21st, which is 2 weeks after this was entered, to inform the court of the status of this case and his intentions to proceed. Failure to do so will result in the dismissal of this case. It is so ordered. So this was the first time that this magistrate has put the cards on the table that, yes, dismissal with prejudice is going to happen unless you fucking proceed with the lawsuit. Greer really only has one choice, and that's to propose a scheduling conference. I've looked at the scheduling conference template because Hardin basically sent him the template from the court's website and says, fill this in, and he still didn't do it. And the reason why he didn't do it is because it's actually really complicated. And it's complicated because in order to fill it in, you have to understand how discovery works, and you have to understand how requests are done and how depositions are done. And if you don't understand your case, and you don't understand how discovery works, and you don't understand what documents you're going to be subpoenaing, and you don't understand how to do depositions, then you can't fill it in. You have to know all the answers to those questions in order to sit down and fill in the blanks. So what happens, I'm sure of this, is that Greer looks at this filing, and just imagine like a dial-up modem sound effect in a blue screen pops up in his brain, and he's like, I have no idea how to proceed. And part of the issue with him filling this in is that he actually filed with the court a statement that he has no documents and no witnesses, which means that he has no evidence for his case. Now, he has to prove beyond a preponderance of the evidence that I deliberately caused copyright infringement of his works in order to win anything. But there's no evidence. He says there's no evidence. So he looks at the template that says, okay, how many days is it going to take to do subpoenas and to do depositions? And then he looks at his filing that he said there's no documents and there's no witnesses, and it's like dividing by zero. He just like has no fucking clue how to put those two together because he fucked it up, and he doesn't know what to do. So now I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of like, I just want to tell you guys what's happening. There's no logical way for this case to proceed, and the fact that it hasn't been dismissed yet is actual insanity. And I don't even know if it's the magistrate's fault. It's the appeals court's fault, because the original decision to revive this case is insane. He says that there's no evidence. So how do we do discovery? When we go to trial, this is what's going to happen. If this was a real case with two lawyers and the judge was playing by the rules, there would be a trial set after no discovery. Both parties would walk in, and when you walk into the trial, you're supposed to raise your evidence. So he would walk in and say, I have no evidence. The plaintiff rests. And then the defense would say, we have no rebuttal. The defense rests. And then the judge would say, on the preponderance of the evidence, of which there is none, I cannot say with 51% assurity that copyright infringement has happened. Therefore, the case is dismissed. That is literally what would happen if the case was playing by the rules of the court. But the case is not so. Everything that's happening is not so. Nobody who has looked at this case has any idea about how to proceed with this, because what's happening doesn't make sense. You have a case that has survived on its merits somehow, but has no evidence, and still has to proceed because the judge is afraid to dismiss it, probably, because the appeals court seems to be fucking Looney Tunes. Like, that's where it's at. It's it doesn't make any sense. So if things are merciful, Greer will file. He's taking this seriously, because the judge says, I'm going to dismiss the fucking case unless you respond with how you intend to prosecute this. And there's a chance that even if he responds and says, no, I'm totally taking this serious, in fact, here is my schedule, the judge might still say, well, you didn't explain why you failed to file this timely before, so I'm going to dismiss it anyways. So it's really like, I have no idea what's happening. Nobody has any idea what's happening. It's up to Greer to prosecute the fucking case, and that's not happening. So, but we can't dismiss it because the appeals court seems to be insane. So what do? We we sit and wait over and over again, and nothing happens ever. It's maddening. It's completely maddening. So that's it. That's the Greer update. So this guy is his research company is called Hindenburg Research, and if you don't know, Paul von Hindenburg was the last Reich president of the German Empire, and more famously, there was a helium blimp named after him in his honor, which exploded horrifically and killed everybody on board. So he's named it Hindenburg Research because the idea is that he researches companies that he believes are horrifically overvaluated, and then he shorts them, and then he releases an expose on why these companies suck, and it crashes the stock, and then he makes a fuck ton of money by crashing the stock. Now, how that's not insider trading, I don't know. I guess it's a economic report. It's like within his right to say, well, I think the stock is overvalued because I think that once people find out how horrible this company is, it's going to crash. I guess that's not like insider trading, because it's an outsider trading thing, but it's sounds like it should be illegal a little bit. But he went down and reviewed Roblox, which is a publicly traded company, and he deemed that it was overevaluated. And this is like a very, very, very long article, and it directly references our boy Ruben Sim in it multiple times. And this is the preamble. Like, these dots are just like the first 5% of the article explaining the bullet points. So I'll read the bullet points for you. Roblox is a $27 billion online gaming platform headquartered in San Mateo, California. The company was incorporated in 2004 and is led by founder and CEO David Baszucki. Baszucki? That's a stupid name. The company has reported net losses every quarter since becoming a public company within the last 12 months, LTM losses totaling $1 billion. Its stock trades at 8.x sales at a 57% premium to gaming peers, pricing its expectations of rapid future growth and profitability. Insiders have cashed out $1.7 billion in stock since the company's 2021 direct listing. In the last 12 months, insiders have sold $150 million in stock, including $115 million by CEO Baszucki personally. Since Roblox is not profitable, its stock price and in turn insiders' ability to dump hundreds of millions of dollars of stock is reliant on the growth metrics it presents to Wall Street. Our research indicates that Roblox is lying to investors, regulators, and advertisers about the number of people on its platform, inflating the key metric by 25 to 42%. We also show how engagement hours, another key metric, is inflated by an estimated 100%. Since prior to going public, Roblox has reported the number of people, in quotes, on its platform in dozens of official investor communications. Among many examples, Roblox wrote a 2022 quarterly saying that there are 54.1 million people coming to Roblox every day. Our findings show that the company's reported number of people regularly matches Roblox's daily active users. But DAUs, according to Roblox's own disclosures, are not a measure of unique individuals accessing Roblox because they can include numerous accounts run by a single person, such as alternates or bots. Given these definitions, we believe Roblox intentionally conflates people with DAUs, consistently inflating the reported number of people on its platform. In 2023, Roblox told the SEC, which is the Securities Exchange Commission, it's a government agency regulating stocks, it is unable to identify if a user has multiple accounts. The company's response to the SEC appears to be a flat-out lie. Multiple former employees told us that Roblox does not internally track single users with multiple accounts, referring to the process as de-alting. Interviews reveal Roblox effectively has two sets of books for counting users, one for internal business decisions and one in which multiple accounts are de-alted, and one for use by the finance team that reports higher metrics to investors. If that number is not de-alted, I think the actual one would be anywhere between 30 to 20% lower, a former data scientist told us. Roblox forums detail how users regularly have dozens of alternative accounts to farm for goods on Roblox, avert bans, and increase their following counts, among other reasons. In addition to alternative accounts, bots are rampant on the platform. For example, Roblox's 7th most popular game, Adopt Me, which is a creepy fucking name, has garnered over 83,000 Change.org signatures to remove it from the platform due to excessive botting that breaks Roblox. Roblox's second most visited game, Blocks Fruits, was dominated by traffic from Vietnam, where we found numerous Facebook groups, including 5 with 50,000 to 110,000 each, advertising and soliciting tools to run 20 plus Roblox bot tabs at a time. That's crazy. Dude, I should short this. Should we short this? Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to create a 501c4, and we're also going to create an investor committee, and we're all going to short Roblox. That's what's happening. Maybe if I say this enough onto the video transcription, it'll get fed into like a Wall Street bot that monitors like social media consensus, and it's like, oh my god, I need to short Roblox. Can everyone in chat say short Roblox and spell it right? What am I supposed to say? Roblox? That's stupid. Stop getting upset over that. That's such a dumb thing to get upset over. You fucking stupid ass game. I'm sorry that's spelled retarded. Okay. In addition to inflating reported numbers of people, we also suspect Roblox massively inflates a second key metric, engagement hours. The company reported an extraordinary 2.4 average hours of engagement per day per user in 2023. This level of engagement is 58% higher than the average time spent by the U.S. 8 to 12-year-olds playing all mobile games, including tablet. According to a 2021 survey, and 26 to 166% more time than leading social media platforms such as YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Massively overstating. Further analysis of playtime showed numerous games in which obvious bot accounts remained in-game for more than 24 hours straight, or representative flagged millions of zombie engagement hours that can majorly skew Roblox's reported average engagement. Roblox incentivizes developers to create AFK games that will artificially inflate engagement by tying developer pay in part to engagement. Webforum details developer strategies for creating features that encourage bots and zombie engagement. Roblox is compromising child safety in order to report growth to investors. Our interview with a former senior product designer. If you're limiting users' engagement, it's hurting your metrics. In a lot of cases, the leadership doesn't want that. Where's the Ruben Sim thing? Ooh, this one. Media and nonprofit exposés from 2020 to 2024 revealed digital strip clubs, red light districts, sex parties, and child predators lurking on Roblox. The National Center on Sexual Exploitation in 2024 labeled Roblox a tool for sexual predators, a threat to children's safety. Numerous criminal indictments from 2019-2024 allege that sexual predators groomed children in-game ranging from 8 to 14-year-olds, kidnapped, raped, or traded sexual content with them. As a test, we attempted to set up an account name under the name Jeffrey Epstein, only to see the name was taken, along with 900 plus variations. That's funny. Many were Jeffrey Epstein fan accounts, including Jeff Epstein supporter, which had earned multiple badges for spending times in a kid's game. Other Jeff Epstein accounts had the usernames iGroom Minors and Rape Tiny Kids. Wow. And then JE for Jeffrey Epstein. Wow. We attempted to set up a Roblox account under the name of another notorious pedophile to see if Roblox had set up any upfront pedophile screening. Earl Brian Bradley was indicted on 471 charges of molesting, raping, and exploiting 103 children. The username was taken, along with multiple variants like Earl Brian Bradley 69. After we found a username, we listed our age as under 13 to see if children are being exposed to adult content. By merely plugging adult into the Roblox search bar, we found a group called Adult Studios with 3,000 members openly trading child pornography and what the fuck, and soliciting sexual acts from minors. We tracked some of the members of Adult Studios and easily found 38 Roblox groups, one with 103,000 members, openly soliciting sexual favors and trading child pornography. Bro, that's fucking nuts. I even knew like a lot about this because of the Ruben Simp stuff that we've already talked about a bunch. But to see it all laid out like in bullet points like this, like a fucking investor, this is literally the investor report. So you just imagine like the most middle-aged, finance-focused, IRA tax accountant, comb over, Ethan Ralph hair type person saying, yeah, the annual reports for RBLX is actually looking pretty bad. In our investor surveys, we discovered that the site had numerous liabilities, including 103,000 pedophiles openly trading child pornography on the platform, which harms quarterly outlooks by 5% each for the next foreseeable future. We would actually deem that RBLX is overvaluated by 33% at the very lowest. Like, oh, okay. When you put it like that, it makes a lot of sense. I should get into reading investor reports. I bet you there's some funny shit in the stock market. We have to hunt for this. This is how I'm gonna grow the podcast. I'm gonna start finding locales that are public accountants and file things with the SEC that are fucking deranged. I bet they're out there. You know they're out there. The chat rooms trading in child pornography had no age restrictions. Roblox reports that 21% of its users are under the age of 9. Oh my god. A number that is likely underestimated given that Roblox has no age verification aside from users seeking 17 plus experiences. Registered as a child, we were also able to access games like Escape to Epstein Island, Diddy Party. We found over 600 Diddy games, including Survive Diddy and Run from Diddy Simulator. Since September 2nd, third-party Moderation for Dummies has reported 12,400 erotic roleplay accounts on Roblox. This includes everything from rape and forceful sex fetishes to underage users willing to do anything for Roblox, which is a fucking dark, dire statement I didn't need to read today. Users seeking sexual experiences on Roblox, and people do it too, because I remember there was a user on the forum who said that when she was like 12, she gave a blowjob in a mall bathroom for a box of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So the children are not well and they need adult supervision. Users seeking sexual experience on Roblox are so pervasive that there are thousands of Roblox sex videos on porn sites inviting users of unknown ages to make explicit content on the platform. We quickly encountered images of male genitalia and hate speech on Roblox's school simulator game, which had registered 28.9 million visits with no age restrictions. We found games such as Beat Up Homeless outside 7-Eleven Simulator, which had 1 million visits and 15,000 favorites before being removed from. Sorry, that's just good, clean fun. I don't know what the issue is. Nonetheless, Roblox users identifying as 9-year-olds and up can still beat up homeless people and beat up people outside of 7-Eleven with over 900,000 visits. In the game Beat Up the Pregnant, users hacked pregnant women to death in a Walmart parking lot with machetes or killed them with frying pans or a selection of guns. We played Guns Work at a Hospital, where users can go on a hospital shooting rampage. The game has 1.6 million visits and remains on the platform with no age restrictions. The game's thumbnail is a picture of a terrified pregnant woman. LGBTQ IAP Plus Vibes is a game available to all ages that has accumulated 40 million visits and over 224,000 favorites. Users regularly describe lewd sex acts while others used hateful slurs. Palestine and Israel Hangout allows kids of all ages to purchase bombs and knives and attack each other. The game has 13 million visits and 7,000 favorites and remains on the platform. Posing as a child in Roblox's therapy experience, our therapist introduced himself as Rapper with only one P. We were advised to run away from home and that he would come pick us up so we could move into his basement in exchange for paying rent with our body. Wow. Some games seem to encourage illicit interactions, like Public Bathroom Simulator Vibe and XYZ Club Vibe, with 31 million collective visits. Both are available to users who self-identify as 9+, who can simulate sex in bathrooms wearing skimpy outfits. Our interviews with moderators show safety was largely outsourced to Asian call centers. Moderators describe being paid $12 a day to review countless instances of child grooming and bullying, with a limited ability to keep perpetrators off the platform permanently. And then it really tops us all off. So we found all these issues, and they're quite horrific and skin-crawling. But compounding all of the above issues, Roblox faces saturation in its top markets like the US and Europe. It is now attempting to keep the appearance of growth alive by adding loss-generating users in markets like Asia per a former employee. Profitability has plummeted despite reporting higher user metrics. So it's like, yeah, all that shit's happening. And also, by the way, there's not much room for growth here. The audience that would be attracted to Roblox has already played it. And they're not likely to grow any bigger. So they can say that they're growing hand over fist all they want, and that's not happening. The IRA accountant is back. Oh, Nazi! Yes! The word Nazi appears in this. As noted earlier, we suspect these metrics are wildly inflated and the platform poses major reputational risk for advertisers. For instance, we found that Instagram ads in the same school simulator game with Nazi hate speech and photos of male genitalia. We couldn't have a assessment of a video game in 2024 without the word Nazi, so all bases covered. Jews offended, Palestinians offended, homosexuals offended, people that want children getting raped, the minority, the other three are more important, also offended. Yeah, we got a short sell here, for sure. All right. That's the Roblox update. I have no idea what this is. Let's watch it together, chat. This is called Semi-Retarded.
I'm insecure that I'm stupid. I'm self-conscious that I'm a vegetable mind. I feel like I'm an idiot. And you said your doctor is semi-retarded. Oops, I mean semi-retired. Were you calling me semi-retarded? Were you calling me semi-retarded? My psychiatrist says this is ideas of reference and predicate lines.
Is this a slam poetry?
You were not calling me semi-retarded. You were not calling me semi-retarded. On the contrary, if you were calling anyone retarded, which you were calling no one retarded, you said semi-retired ultimately in the end. You made the correction. It was an accident. But it was my doctor you were calling quote-unquote retarded, not me. You were not calling me semi-retarded. You were not calling me semi-retarded. But I suspect you were messing with my mind. It's gaslighting and a veiled insult. I suspect you were calling me semi-retarded. I suspect you were calling me semi-retarded. Maybe I just feel semi-retarded. Maybe I
Even
just
this
need
guy has a
accommodation.
bus and haircut. What's up with that?
You know, because you claim. Stop it. This is predicate logic, ideas of reference. You misspoke. You were not calling me semi-retarded. And besides, I'm not semi-retarded. Look at my artwork. It's creative. It's intelligent. It's brilliant. I am not semi-retarded. I am not semi-retarded. I am not an idiot. I am not adult. I feel semi-retarded, but I am not semi-retarded. I feel semi-retarded.
Is the punchline going to be that you're fully
but
retarded?
I am not semi-retarded.
I guess not. I was hoping that would be the punchline at the end. Okay, someone said this needs a beat. I think I have a beat picked out. I'll do a little playback here for a second.
I'm
Drop the beat.
insecure that I'm stupid. I'm self-conscious that I'm a vegetable mind.
Is this syncing up right,
feel
chat?
like
This got a vibe to
I'm
it.
an idiot. And you said your doctor is semi-retarded.
I think this is working out. This is perfect.
Oops. I mean semi-retired.
Okay. I've had enough of the semi-retarded guy. I think I nailed the beat, though. I think I nailed that. Pretty good. Okay. Now this topic makes me genuinely angry. Okay. So this guy is named Jack Doherty. He's like a fucking Zoomer retard. And he's gonna play stupid games and get stupid prizes. Let's check it out. Now, let me just text and drive here real quick. Shit, man, we're going like 90 miles per hour in a sports car with like flat, round racing tires. Should we like slow down in these wet conditions? No. We'll just go faster. Oh shit, we should have slowed down. Fuck. Whoopsie doodles.
Oh, fuck. No, watch out, watch out. Oh. Fuck, open the door, open your door. We're locked in here. Holy shit. Holy shit. Where's your phone? Oh, I just broke that shit. Me too. Help. Help.
You can't get out of the car.
Oh shit.
Damn, man, how would you spend on that McLaren or whatever, and it doesn't like have a way to get the fuck out of it if you like crash? So if you had gone off that bridge and your shit was smashed in like this, you would just drown. Fuck, call my dad, call my dad. Oh, call my dad.
Michael. Kill, oh fuck. Help.
My phone's broken, I can't call my dad. This is the aftermath of this, by the way. I think there's a second part. Because he's a kick streamer, so of course his natural reaction after a car accident is to keep that shit going.
You fucking shit.
He gets pulled out at some point.
Holy shit.
That's his friend. He's completely fine. He's the one that's
Holy
like
fucking shit.
that's
Michael.
hurt.
Are you okay? Holy fuck.
Yeah, I'm fine, bro.
Oh my god, bro.
Call my dad.
Bro, my whole fucking car, bro. No fucking way. Oh
looks
my
like
gosh.
It looks like shit, bro. Don't worry about it. Dude, where's his engine? Is this one of those cars that has the engine in the back? Is that a good thing? I feel like if your engine's in the back, if you horrifically skid off the road and crash into the side, then you don't have an engine like in the way to protect you from the impact.
There's no fucking... Michael, here. Michael, do you have your film on that phone too? No.
No.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
My car is totaled, bro.
Yeah. That's why you were texting and driving and going 90 miles per hour. That happens.
Dude, I've never been in a car accident before.
Oh, well now you have.
Oh my god.
Shit, man, you better get that license and registration out. Is this in Florida? This looks very much like Florida. The state trooper's like, hello, I have arrived. I have two boys, two chicos. They're driving a really stupid ass car. That's it. Calling it in.
Your phone.
Okay, I'm not gonna watch all this. So I looked up who this guy is, and I realized that he did prank videos. So he is already one of the most unlikable fucking people that has ever lived for any reason. Then, someone actually wrote a nice little post. Oh, this is him, by the way, after the crash. He's at the hospital. I hate this dude's face. Inspires a level of primal fucking rage in me. There's a part of Fight Club where the narrator describes this guy, and he's in the movie too, and he describes how good it feels to fuck up his face and see his face mangled. There's something about this guy's face and stupid fucking hair that's like, God, I would just love to see you horrifically disfigured for life. You are so fucking ugly, and I hate you so fucking much. So that's what he did. And then, of course, he's advertising free OnlyFans content immediately because he runs an OnlyFans. You might think, well, this guy is fucking ugly. How does he run an OnlyFans? But he's advertising free OnlyFans content to pay off his fucking car. Well, to the rescue, Neil Breen. And Neil Breen has brought the deets that I did not know. This guy is not just a scumbag prank channel. He is a sex trafficker. What he does is he goes to parties as a young man that has a lot of money because he's a nepotistic baby that had money in his family and that helped kickstart his YouTube or Kick career. So what he does is he goes to parties with young people in them, and he identifies drunk girls. And then he gets them to fuck him on camera and gets their consent while they're intoxicated, and he sells that on OnlyFans and he takes the money. So, he's like a literal actual shill. I'm going to assume that he's a member of the tribe for OnlyFans, and he does this by just soliciting random women at universities. So here's the real kicker. This guy, mark my fucking words, I am invoking this into reality. There's going to be a beautiful day where I get to see this guy in a federal courtroom in a $20,000 suit, and I'm going to get to see big, beautiful tears on this fucking retard chimp's face. The most delicious tears that you've ever seen in your life. Candy tears. And he's going to be talking about how he's got his whole life ahead of him. And he's such a good boy. And he's learned so much from this experience. And they're going to give him 20 years for sex trafficking. And I know that this is going to happen because it happened in the past. This guy's called Joe Francis. If you're my age, you know what Girls Gone Wild is. Back in the day, if you watch Comedy Central late at night, there would be non-stop commercial advertisements for Girls Gone Wild. And the gist was that this guy would walk up to random women and say, flash me. And then he would get their consent after the fact, after they were drunk. Then he would sell the tapes to horny old men that watch Comedy Central late at night. This guy was convicted of sex trafficking. And in 2024, I imagine that our laws are a little bit stricter than this. So there will come a day where we get to see the big, beautiful candy tears on this little piggy's face. I didn't mean to sex traffic all those girls. I just wanted to run some content, bro. I just wanted to get some content for my channel, bro. And it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be there for it. I'm going to go attend in person. I'm going to drive. I don't care where it's at. He's in Florida. Not long of a drive. Not long of a drive when this happens. I'll be there. It'll be satisfying, chat. Anyways, this has all been very dark, so I'm going to end this off with Wright. He's running a GoFundMe for his McLaurin or whatever. But Adam Johnston, our boy, yourmoviesucks.org, he's running a good charity. He says, hey, everybody, Olivia here. I don't know what that means. I assume it's one of his supporters. I just set up a GoFundMe to get Adam. It's the guy that runs the My Miss Headlight channel. I just set up Olivia is a tranny, by the way. I just set up a GoFundMe to get Adam a life-size scar plush. Unfortunately, the plush is very expensive to get, but you can ship in and you will have both mine and Adam heartfelt thanks. And this is it. It's already met its goal. He's getting the plush, the life-size, handmade, Japanese scar plush. And this is the underside of it. Now, the little extra money, you might say, that GoFundMe made more money than it needed to buy this plush, and that's because we're going to be getting custom modifications to this plush. Adam won't be satisfied with this life-size plush unless he can cut this open and get a bussy installed. And I think that they're going to ask for that. They're going to get the Primo bussy installed on Scar. So that our boy Wynath can fuck Scar in the ass. As he has desperately wanted to his entire life since he was a child. And that's the that's the locale stuff. I have some sector news, of course. What is this? I forgot what this is. Oh, I remember what this is. This is Bo Blacks, also known as Blow Blacks, talking about doing coke with Turkey Tom.
Do you do cocaine with Turkey Tom? Yes. I've always let my Discord kind of be a free-for-all rot fest, bro. Based, honestly, yeah, it was pretty fun to try out coke. It was just one line, but they also had Molly, but I was like, I only want to try one new drug at a time and in a little amount so I know how it affects me. So I chose the coke, because it just seemed way more interesting than fucking Molly did. And it seemed harder to come by. But I don't really know. I've never tried to get Molly or coke, so I wouldn't know. Cringe, yeah.
You know, since doing coke with Juju the Cow in Los Angeles with a pedophile, Bo Blacks has trooned out, and Turkey Tom has admitted to cheating and being cheated on, which is a form of cuckoldry. It's interesting how that happens, chat. What is it about doing coke with a man that gets fucked in the asshole dressed as a cow and his pet pedophile that hampers your quality of life in the future? Drugs might be bad after all, chat. Maybe the government wasn't lying to me. Is that even possible? Was the government not lying, chat? We'll never really know, I guess. Circle back, actually. This is a little bit ahead of itself. Let's circle back to Styx, Hexenhammer. On the last episode of Mad at the Internet, we discussed how Styx Hexenhammer, aka Tarl Warwick, aka a man that fondled a woman's breast very uncomfortably after giving her a garden homegrown abortion tea, was arrested for domestic battery in Nolens and was sent to the Nolens Parish Prison, which is actually a jail for some reason. There, he sleeplessly waited in a room with 12 black men who did drugs in front of him and in front of jail guards, awaiting to be bailed out by Jeremy Hambley, a.k.a. the Quartering, who now owns his soul, apparently. Styx Hexenhammer maintains his innocence, says that he will beat the charges, but in the time since then, some weird shit has happened. First of all, Samantha Catherine, who is identified to be somebody that he knows, probably the woman, says, so without trying to start more shit than has already been started, I could use some help. Those who know me well know I hate asking for help. I don't like others feeling responsible for me because I've learned it gives others a superiority complex when they think they bought the right to control me. And then there's a quote, when everyone is done grifting off the drama of my trauma, feel free to donate to my Cash App or PayPal so I can move the hell on from people who think they own me and can threaten my finances, threaten my life, my husband and kids. That would be great. It's in my bio. So that's a weird thing to say because Styx beat her, I guess, and she has husband and kids. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Then this extraordinarily weird video was posted from this YouTube channel, but this user who made his first post, I want to say, not even. This user archived it. So it's a very weird video, and we'll listen to it together. The editing choices are not mine, obviously.
Look at the picture.
So super, super weird intro. The still frames show her with a bloody nose, I want to say. Has that happened yet? No, nice.
You've made your bed. Now lay in it.
I don't care if you're crying. It makes no difference to me. You've treated me like absolute shit this entire time. I'm 1,000 miles away from my home with a person who apparently I can't trust at all as my guide. Do you know how that feels? You won't answer the question because, of course, the question invalidates your particular opinions. How lovely. I'm so imperfect. I'm so terrible. And you're just wonderful. Everything about you is perfect and divine. With your tarot cards.
Okay, so that was a weird one. It then cuts to 3 messages before ending. The first one is Tarl saying, "Why don't you just talk this out with me, Sam? I am trying to be reasonable and I know you care for me, but I will not survive another jailhouse rock." This is supposedly him trying to get her to cooperate to have the charges dropped because he doesn't want to go back to jail. And then there's another message. He says, "At great hazard, I send you one last response to the message you left in the room. I am not cheating and won't. I didn't mean to hit you with the phone. I will never find someone as great as you. I have commanded Mom to let you stay at blank. If in need, and yes, you may reside at blank, my lawyer will push for the charge to be dropped, and I hope to return soon. This is all my fault, and I will stay off alcohol for life. I saw alcohol yesterday and felt only disgust for it in myself. I humiliated my family, hazarded my work, and worst of all, now you aren't beside me. I beg forgiveness and will become the man I need to be. I doubt you ever want me again, but if there's even a 1 in a million chance, I will go the distance. You can reply, but I dare not say anything further except I love you. Be safe, and I will abide by the protection order. I will never deserve someone as perfect as you, and I will feel guilt for this forever." And then there's a random picture of, I'm assuming I thought that was Narcissist, but it's just a naked lady, so I don't know what's going on there. So there you go. That is the Tarl update. It's hard to say if this is real. There's a lot of people in the replies to the Kiwi Farms tweet on Zitter saying that this is AI generated. Because it doesn't sound like him on his YouTube videos. Like, it's his voice, but it sounds different. I'm just like, he probably sounds different when he's talking down to a woman that he's throwing shit at. And trying to, like, wear her down versus how he talks to his audience when he's, like, comfortable in his zone. I imagine people sound way different in those circumstances. It's hard to imagine that that's AI. It doesn't sound like it. So there's that. There's a lot of people making fun of Hambly for bailing him out, but we'll see how this turns out. I don't like him, so fuck him. Okay, back to Juju the Cow. Let's check out what's happening on the Dick Show. Here we have Juju wearing a picture of Riley's mugshot because I guess he thinks that's really funny.
So Vito says, "Oh, I'll get somebody for your war game," right? And we're posted up in the middle. And he brings this girl over, and
So there's like a little party, I guess. I don't know what a war game is. I imagine that's like a party or something. So he says, "Okay, I'll bring a femoid for this party."
I said, "Oh, okay, hi." So I explained the rules, and she goes like, "Oh, I don't know." I said, "Okay, like, the Revolutionary War." She goes, "Oh man, they're just starting to teach us that, but they haven't told us when it started yet." And I said, "I'm sorry, what? How old are you?"
Yeah,
she goes,
"Good question."
13. And I said, "Get the hell out of here, Vito! You're telling me the first person you bring over is a 13-year-old girl." Bro,
help yourself out.
Oh, no,
help yourself out.
It's a funny story when your pedophile friend that you've known as a pedophile for years brings over a 13-year-old girl to your house. Ah, fuck, bro. Looks like your associations are bad. What a shame. I don't usually like to talk about Juju and his friends because his acking, his wheezy I can't even do his laugh. You brought over a 13-year-old girl. It's funny when I laugh like that. It's funny when I laugh like this. But this is what Vito's up to. I figure I'll hit all 3 marks at once and be done with it in one episode. Vito is now a VTuber. Oh boy, I wanted to talk about VTubers today. That was definitely on my agenda. Let's hear what VTuber Vito sounds like.
Who has been the vice president for the last 3.5 years?
Oh,
and the answer is your running mate, not mine.
Kamala gave
Donald
the
Trump
nuclear
consistently
weapons.
Made the world
How does anyone
more
watch
secure.
this shit?
Now,
Why
we
am
talk
I
about
watching this shit?
The
This is your anime babe. It's probably like that's VTuber men. I just imagine where like the woman that they're attracted to. So I'm imagining that the 13-year-old girl probably looked like that, and she got picked up after school. She was like vaping on like the playground, and he was like, "Hey, you look like you're pretty mature. You want to go play war games with my buddy? He's real famous in LA." And she's like, "Yeah, I guess." And they abducted her. This is the second time, by the way, that he's tried to do a VTuber thing. This was his other character model. So I guess he's updated. He's Vito. Look, say what you want about Vito, but his tastes have matured. He's gone from being interested in 8-year-olds to 13-year-olds in an edgy stage. So our boy is growing up. His interests are growing with him, chat. You got to give him a break. Also, speaking of pedophiles, his pedophile friend Max Carson, whom he has known for a long time, and who famously made a review where he explained that he was sexually attracted to all the girls on Cuties, which is how Dick even got into the whole Cuties thing, was defending this fucking review because Vito knew this guy and Dick knew Vito. So this big circle jerk happened. And now Juju the Cow will forever be known as the Cuties guy, in part because of Max Carson. Well, Max Carson's working on his own documentary that he says he's spent $20,000 on. Max says, it's currently taking up all my time and a lot of my money, but it's an important story to tell, so bear with me on the lack of Substack posts for the moment. Because of the sensitivity of my story, I can't make any kind of announcement until I'm done filming, but I can say that it's a journalistic piece in the vein of Reckless and the Destiny Report. I'm hoping to be done filming interviews in the next month or so, but it may take longer. The goal is to set up the film on Netflix, and as always, to generate thought and conversation around the subject matter. Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge. Then he announces what Netflix has spent $20,000 on. The computer tried to save you from the horrors that we're about to watch, so I'll replay it.
I've decided to announce that my documentary is about child sexual abuse. I'm not ready to get more specific than that yet, but I've got 32 interviews filmed, probably 40 or 50 conducted, maybe 40 that weren't filmed, but took notes and stuff. And I think I need another 10 or 20.
So this guy was paid $20,000 by Netflix to go around interviewing raped children, and somehow he's accomplished this, and he's now talking about it in the hopes of stimulating conversation about child assault, because of course he is. So I don't know who the fuck in Netflix approved this. I actually tried to reach out to them to confirm that this was even true, and they haven't gotten back to me. So if you have press credentials, I know people with press credentials watch this. You might want to reach out to Netflix Press, the media center, and figure out what the fuck is going on with this, because that's insane. If they actually gave this fucking retard money to hassle sexual assault survivors, that is literally fucking nuts. Cool. So this is something that everybody has already read and made content off of. Of course, someone on the Kiwi Farms puts together an effort post, and the world reads it on YouTube for hundreds of dollars, and I am the last to benefit from it. So this is the timeline for degeneracy for Rekieta. I'll skim over it pretty briefly. It's actually really shocking how quickly this all happened in public, and it leaves a lot to wonder, like, what exactly kicked this off. Now, what I don't know is if this person only started at this with this in mind, or if this is just where it started. But in May or in June or 2022, Nick's worst day happened, which was confirmed on July 4th, 2022. And then That's where it starts in July 4th, 2022. So I really don't know if this guy went through every video of him or if he just started at this point, try and figure out where the worst day happens. But it's where the decline begins. He starts talking about how moms should do OnlyFans. He starts talking about pegging and cuckoldry. And he announces that the worst day had happened, but has never explained what it is. This is still a mystery. Then, the anime Matsuri and women stepping on Nick pictures are posted. He goes on his Hedonism 2 trip in August during International Swingers Week. He has this weird bout on the Simpcast. I think this is where he's talking to like Brittany Venti and shit. And they look extremely uncomfortable. Yeah, this is what the kids call a Jimmy. Let's take a listen. Assuming that wants to load.
I'm like, guys, I'm a libertarian. I talk about sex toys. I go on shows defending pornography as free speech. I have an I
need to blow this up to full screen because, like, as he starts to talk, every person in this has like a different reaction, and I think it was Brittany Venti and Melanie Mack who have a scornful look of pure and utter contempt as he starts to prattle
almost
on.
encyclopedic knowledge of porn stars.
Dude, look at her face in particular, because she.
Guys, I'm a libertarian.
Like, she seems like engaged in the conversation. She's like paying attention. She's touching her hair. She's like chill in her zone.
Sex toys.
And then he starts talking about sex, and she's like, that's kind of weird.
Go on shows defending pornography is.
Then she says that, and literally she just freezes. She just completely freezes. She no longer feels safe. She is just like frozen.
Free speech. I have an almost encyclopedic knowledge of porn stars by name, which
now she's touching her hair, but it's like in a really uncomfortable way. Brittany Venti appears to be frozen in utter shock and hatred of Nick Rekieta at this point.
Who's your favorite?
People laugh, and she's like in shock. They're like laughing it off as like awkward, and then these two are just like not moving. You can really tell where their opinions are.
Top three, go.
Oh, favorite would be Crystal Boyd. Followed by Kenzie Reeves, and then
her body. Dude, Melanie Mack should never play poker because her body language is just like so obvious.
I don't know. Is there any? There are other...
She's like scratching her nose.
I mean, I don't know.
but I actually like.
Brittany's like shaking. Look at her head. She's like literally physically shaking and like. Oh, it's just a perfect clip. Anyways, oh, this is when Kayla gets her facelift, and they stream from Minneapolis while Kayla gets a procedure. So this is when she's having her facelift, and for whatever reason, Nick Rekieta just streams from the hotel. They're in Minneapolis getting cosmetic surgery done. He's like, yeah, I'll just boot up a stream, whatever. I did cocaine in Jamaica. He talks about swinging. He gets drunk with Farron. He talks about his no clothing room. So apparently, he says in college there's like a room in his dorm where he like it was illegal like by their rules to have clothes on. He starts posting locals pictures of Kayla in lingerie and weird Nick sucking Kayla's toes. What the fuck? Oh my god. What the fuck? Bro. How have I never seen this? Hold up. I'm gonna open this on a new tab for you guys so you don't have to see the ass pictures. What the fuck? I don't if I've seen this, it was such a long time ago that I completely forgot about it. That's fucked up. That's really gnarly, man. Kayla gave a Baldo to Rachel. Nick reviews the Baldo. This is the true beginning of the end. Fuck this whole worst day ever bullshit. This was where it started. Nick meets April Imholt on the Simpcast. Kayla brings Nick to an underwear-only bar for his birthday. Nick does a local stream where he addresses the locals chat. Nick says he cannot be canceled. Okay. Nick's first discusses a sex dungeon. The sex dungeon was like an ongoing thing where he complained about how he was continuously trying to find a contractor in the area willing to modify his home so that he could have a sex dungeon. And he was saying like how lazy contractors were and how they didn't want to do any real work. And it was more like obvious that when he detailed what he wanted, probably with like hooks on the ceiling and shit that could support a human, they were like, I'm not doing this. And then they kind of just like ghosted him. So there's that. Nick gets the I Will Be Us tattoo. I don't remember this. I don't know why this guy used tiny URL for all this shit. That really fucks everything up. Because it's like, there's no actual indication of what the link is. So if tiny URL ever blocks the site or whatever, these links just break. Oh yeah, this shit, the My Chemical Romance. I Will Be Us. That's stupid. Yeah, this is a stupid ass fucking tattoo. Remember this. Kayla acknowledges that she received lingerie from Carrie Mache and brags writing to her, I'm so excited, Nick will tell you what he thinks. So she got secondhand underwear. Claire Bear exposes locals' wine mom porn pictures and sexual stories. I officially indicate at January 6, 2023, pull up. And then I warned him again a week later about the, this is too long to play. The pull-up thing was just about how he needs to stop being drunk on stream and being so lewd and lascivious all the time. And then the second one was more specifically, it was like a week after, and I specifically said, because he got pissy with me on Signal or whatever, and I said the second time, I said, you should not be engaging with your fans this way, because it's a really fucking bad idea. And it's going to blow up in your fucking face, which it did. Exchange with Kumalat. Kumalat recalls the hookers in Las Vegas. Nick meets Sally. Farron's DMs leak, including the hedonism, sex dungeon, and swinging. I make fun of him. Kayla stops wearing her wedding ring. Nick is still trying to build the sex dungeon in May 2023. Talks about the St. Andrew's Cross. Talks about how the Kiwi Farms is bad. This is the Mandy. Oh, Mandy. Embarrassing stream. Then the shower text happened. I can't believe that was over a year ago now. That's crazy. They find the hedonism guys on his Instagram. He gets made fun of by a turkey on stream. I revealed the shower text in August. Oh, because that, the reveal was like a month later, right? It was actually a second shower text, I think. No, it wasn't. I talk about it. I don't have I screenshotted it, I think, but I think it was on the old phone or something. Nick goes to a strip club. Mandy's a man. That's in 2023. So now we're in April zone. At the very end of 2023 is where they have their hot tub stream where Nick licks Aaron on the face. April gets a speeding ticket. Oh, this is the other thing. Oh, that's right. They were just streaming in his basement together, and he licks his face, and then he licks his face again, I'm pretty sure, in the hot tub stream. Then Aaron and April get a divorce around February. I talked about the ceiling cats. Wait, is that me? I don't remember if I did that. I remember this. No, the ceiling cats was my thing. I remember this. Lady Rackets has a bloody nose because she's doing coke. Go to a gay bar. Nick cancels his stream. Then the coke stream happens in May. And they get arrested later that week. And you're all caught up with the rest of this, but it happened so fast, man. Like, he had all of his shit together in 2021. And then by 2022, he's just like off the fucking rails. It's crazy how fast it goes. It's a really good write-up. Did I give this a sticker? You guys know I like to do the stickers. I did not. I didn't even like it. How fucking Miserly of me. Let's correct this with the sticker, chat. Good post. I think there was one other thing. No, it's not. No, I already played that. Okay, great. Okay. Well, let's round off the lolcow segment with a little update of somebody we all know and all love. Bossman Jack. So Bossman has two, kind of like with Rekieta, he has the kids issue and then he has the criminal court, and they both cause problems for him. Because it's like if he wants custody of the kids, he has to play by their rules. But by playing by their rules in the court, he also creates evidentiary issues for him in the criminal case, right? Well, in Virginia, it's kind of the same thing. Except they roll their juvenile issues up with domestic issues. They have family court as opposed to juvenile court. So his issue with his father was actually a domestic issue, and that went to domestic court. His issues with cocaine was a criminal issue, and that went to criminal court. So he has violated bond for the cocaine possession in criminal court, but he also violated bond for beating his father in the family court. So he's gotten another charge in family court for violating his probation. So he could have further complications with the family court if they choose to pursue it, but chances are, if he completes rehab successfully, he will probably have no issue with the family court as well. Because usually in the family court, they're trying to resolve the issues. They're not necessarily trying to punish on behalf of the government. It depends on, obviously, the circumstances and who you get as the judge and so on and so forth. But chances are they'll play nice with the criminal case in this instance. Because all he did is he got into a scrap with his dad. Like, who gives a shit? Now, how is our rehab doing for our boys? Da-na-na-na. 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 Da-na-na-na-na. Look at this. Look at him. Fresh. Look at my boy. He's fresh. He's clean. He's got a haircut. His hands don't have soot on them. He looks well, chat. He looks well. How could this be? How could Bossman Jack look this dapper, chat? Who knows? He seems to be doing okay in rehab. He seems to be following the program, and he seems like he's all squeaky clean. Not a stinky ratatouille rat, unlike some people. He's nice and clean. So, I think everything's going to work out just fine, and we'll be gambaying again before you can even fucking miss him, chat. What's happening? I'm beginning to believe. One day you'll believe. You'll all believe. I know. Look how happy he's pulling through. He's gonna make it. We're all gonna make it, chat. And one other thing, just one other announcement. There is a community thread in the games board for contributions to the Kiwi Farms Doom mapping project. There's a second one. And they're making custom assets and stuff. So if you are someone who likes to do Doom modding, or likes Doom in general, do check out the games board. Go to the obvious Kiwi thread. It's called the Doom Mapping Project. And contribute to the Doom people. I'll just give them a quick shout out. Okay. I think that's it. We hit 2 hours. Covered everything. We got Butter Dog. I think that's all the things I need for a successful stream these days. Let's pop it on to Show No channel. And I'll do the strawberries. Okay. Anime sucks. Cope and Sneed for one says, unban me from Kick. Your mod there is a gigantic faggot. No. Humble Guardsman for 5 says, read in Southern accent. A proud dad, changed the batteries in my smoke detectors last night. In doing so, I preemptively saved my family from a gruesome death via immolation. Thank God I'm white. Fun fact, my carbon monoxide detector had a little chirparooski a couple days ago, and I urgently went to the corner store and got the batteries required to replace this item. And it no longer chirps, and it is indeed silently monitoring for carbon monoxide chat. Fascinating. Colinante for 5 says, Josh, this is no time to be streaming. Don't you know they put out an evacuation order? It specifically says Florida basements are in extreme danger of flooding. I was going to make a joke where, like, I played water rushing sounds and like, oh my God, my basement's flooding. Ah! But unfortunately, the hurricane got delayed. It was supposed to land tonight in U.S. time, and then it didn't. it's like tomorrow night or something, so I couldn't do my joke. I had it all planned out in my head and everything. Euclid Sneed for 20 says, thanks for the top quality streams. Will not be able to get through work without them. Sneed. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like them. Kurt Eichenwald, Anime Masturbator for 5 says, Glorious Kiwi Emperor. Recently, a Japanese acquaintance of mine posted that immigration from the room of inbred Amerisharts with us at the time could be a solution to the Japanese demographic problem. He says, it continues for 2. Crisis, the shithole corrupts everything it touches. I swear to you, here and now, I will bring it to ruin. Yeah, I don't know. I imagine that Japanese people are like in a level of bargaining where it's like, okay, fine, we will discretion right pigu have our women, but only right pigu, no Chinese pigu, no Korean pigu, no Sandy Arab pigu, no African pigu ever. And that's like that, but I don't know. Maybe PewDiePie's can save the world. Or save Japan, specifically. Barrett's Legacy Privateer for 10 says, I've noticed things from the stream about died yet again, and I have returned. Lo and behold. Not LOL from Kino Chat 2 for $300 says, a 209281 QL A quick G was found in a DI. Does that have like a meaning? If I type this, does my computer die? No, nothing comes up. I have no fucking idea what that means, bro. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good super chat. Nice. Genius. Drunk donation. Maybe drunk donation. That makes more sense. Big dog, big dick. For 3 says, Jersh, wife was at work and her black coworker said she used some sort of powder to make her dog smell better. Wife first thought, white peepo, do you even season your dog? Well, that's why she's your wife and not sure your girlfriend, because she's a keeper, apparently. She knows to season your dog. You gotta keep her. DB's to be for 2 says, here's $2 for the ban Anime Sex Cope and Sneed fun. Oh, I see that he's... So Anime Sex Cope and Sneed was like temporarily banned from the Kiwi farms. I think he got banned automatically for rules violations. If you don't get 12 points at once, you will be unbanned when the warnings expire. So he was like automatically unbanned. And now his presence in general chat is already causing a fuss. Because he can't stop being like a weirdo, like sex pervert. Yeah. I don't know why it's so hard. Euclid Sneed for 1 says, Josh, do a face stream in Chinese face. Is this what I would look like if I was black or Chinese? We'll find out. Thank you. Red Eyes Black Dragon for 10 says, YouTube link. Awesome. Let's check it out. Let's check it out.
Dad, what's the matter with you? Are you trying to kill me?
Pipe down. You are out of control.
I'm allergic to strawberries. They give me hives. And I don't need any of this junk, pork rinds, smoked mackerel, pig's feet. Yuck!
Hey, hey, hey! How am I supposed to know you don't eat pig's feet?
You don't know anything about me, Dad.
You're a kid. What's there to know?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Pork rinds.
I don't get it. That's weird. That's a weird thing to send in. Thank you. Not lol from Kino Chat 2 for $200 says, don't fuck me this time, Rumble. To in the future, Jersh, read the super chat you had And then it says, "This is my first super chat. Shout out them dirt devils. And shout out Kino Chat 2, I guess. Smug emoji." Well, that makes a lot more sense. I don't know how the fuck you... I want to clarify that your first super chat was this. So I have no fucking idea what you did to somehow supplant that message with this one. But it's very impressive. I don't know where the Dirt Devils meme comes from. I think that's like the Kino Casino chat, in which is not related to the podcast. It's just what we call it for fun. They like watch Kick Gutter Trash, and I think the Dirt Devils thing is like a reference. They watch guys on Kick who are like profoundly mentally retarded and also severe alcoholics and also convicted pedophiles. Stream to an audience of less than 10 people, and then they make GIFs of them. And that's what they do now that Bossman Jack is in jail or in rehab, because they've lost their guiding light, their star. And that's their source of entertainment. So shout out to the Kino Casino people. Space Allen, thank you, by the way, for $500. That's very nice of you. Space Allen for $20 says Ham Jam. Thank you, Space Allen. I appreciate it. Brianna Wu, Hyper Bimbo for 10 says, "Major white pill seems there's grounds for discrimination suits in many of the Indian corporate takeovers." And then there is U.S. tech workers status. Or are they suing the Indians for nepotism? Let's see what this Zeet has to say. U.S. tech workers. Is this a union? What is this? IFSPP. We bring together Institute for Sound Public Policy. We bring together civic-minded people to advocate on behalf of American workers harmed by employment visa programs at the Min Congress. It's an anti-immigration thing for tech workers. That's crazy. A jury has found Indian IT outsourcing firm Cognizant guilty of discriminating against non-Indian employees. The lawsuit claimed Cognizant ousted many non-Indian workers by first taking them off projects and benching them without work until firing them. Cool. We're gonna need immigrants from all backgrounds to be as horrific as possible to white people until they have completely fucking been buckbroken and are willing to do what is necessary to return with a V. Yeah, thank you. Big Dog Big Dick for 2 says, as a longtime viewer, on Tuesdays and Fridays I get a few beers and listen to Maddie. In dark times it's been a beacon of enjoyment and amusement. You really are the pirate radio of our generation. Maybe one day I'll buy a radio station. I'll broadcast on the AM frequencies. They don't even put those in cars anymore. You're gonna have to go out of your way to get your own shortwave radio or something. I could do shortwave. How much does it theoretically cost to broadcast my stream across the entire world? If I got like a radio antenna, what's a place where there's like cheap radio antennas? What about in Asheville, North Carolina? If they got like a big ass shortwave antenna on the mountains there, I'll buy it. It can't cost more than like a couple bucks at this point for the FCC license and everything. No, I'll broadcast shortwave. I'll say the N-word. Am I allowed to say the N-word, or is that regulated by the FCC? Yeah, I'll buy the shortwave station and then I'll lease out space to Review Bro. I know he does his thing. His shortwave, he uploads the podcast on YouTube, by the way. Review Braw's shortwave radio broadcast is actually really comfy to listen to. He has this really relaxing way of speaking, and he just like, what he talks about is very uninterruptive. Like he just reports on the news without any kind of bias. Like he's trying to be like an old school newscaster. It's very easy to listen to. It's good background noise. Sneedo, for one, says, would you say it's true that there is less snitches and less prick co-workers on night shift jobs? I never had any issues with any of my co-workers. The only major difference was that the managers at Whataburger who really gave a shit and were tight asses, they had their schedules set in the morning or the lunch hours where the big money hours were, and they didn't work at night. But as far as coworkers go, everybody working at a Whataburger is either a child or a convict with a drug problem that just wants to get through the fucking day, because nobody's there for fun, basically. Doodlepot for 10 says, thanks for all the enjoyable streams. I'm glad you liked them. Thank you very much. Coley Dante for 5 says, TikTok is an IQ test. If you're the kind of person who watches random 50-second videos on autoplay for hours at a time, you deserve to have your brain melted, and the world is better off without you. Except it doesn't happen and they vote. If only they died. Anime Sex Copen's Need for One says, don't talk shit about Samoans. Some of the hottest, thick... Good Luck 7 for 2 says, watched a bum beat another bum and steal his shirt off his back while listening to your stream at a red light 5 feet away from my car. One looked like a Mexican, the other like Cyrax but healthier. Good to know. Stay safe. TP Deluxe for 2 says, Josh, why must raise 1K for the Scar and Lion King plushie? Please, no plushies for the merch runs. It's just going to get Joker 2'd by some furry DJ. Joker 2'd. That's funny. Yeah, I guess I can't do plushies. I get offers from like American businesses that use the forum, but I don't know. Plushie run sounds like a disaster. I'm going to be real with you. 11th Circuit for 2 says, nothing has made me more racist and sexist than trying to navigate through people's shopping carts at Costco while buying hurricane supplies. Dude, I'm telling you, that's the only time I become genuinely sexist, where it's like, I'm trying to get through. You walk down an aisle, you have a shopping cart. If there's a man looking at shit, he will either set himself to, like, he either already has or will, as soon as he notices you, either move his cart or move his person so they're on the same side of the aisle. A woman will never do this. A woman will 9 times out of 10 stand there looking at different brands of mayonnaise until you ask her to move, or you just move her fucking cart for her. I don't know what the fuck it is. It is a genuine like difference in the physiology of man and women, where that is just a thing that happens. Okay? This is a thing that I've noticed, by the way, between states in the U.S. and abroad. It happened in the Philippines, it happens in Ukraine, it happens in Serbia. There's a genetic male-female distinction, and if they will move out of the fucking way with their cart, or have the theory of mind to move the cart out of the way before they start looking at products. It's a thing for sure. Not lol from Kino Chat 2 for $10 says, and yes, I meant to send $500. Shut the fuck up, Dave Smug. I see there is a conversation happening, but it's at my benefit, so I will read them and I will say thank you. I appreciate it. NewsHammy69 for 2 says, why does the mother hamster never tell her babies a bedtime story? Because she doesn't have a tail. That's cute. She doesn't have a geshishta. Good Luck 7 for 2 says, you gotta try mortadella style salami bologna. I have turned on to it while hanging out with the Balkans a while back. Also the many variety white cheeses that in brine and come in a tall round can. Yes, mortadella is very good. If you ever have the option to get mortadella with like nuts in it and stuff, do make a sandwich out of it. It's very good. You won't go back. And get fresh bread too if you have the option. Go to an Italian place. If you have an Italian store, they usually have both bread and deli. Eugla Sneed for 1 says, we was the economy, nicka. She, motherfucker. White people didn't know what to do before we told them, so we divined the tarot cards. We have the melanin, which connects to Mother Gaia. We asked Mother Gaia, where's that hurricane going to go? And said, oh, Lord, the cane's coming to central Tampa. Oh, Lord, the Tampa. We got to evacuate Tampa. And that's how we saved them white people tens of millions of dollars. They didn't know what to do before they spoke to us. They was just drowning in shit. And fucking retards. Schwarzwald null for 10 says, any chance we can convince Hardin to represent Springlecat in the upcoming civil trial? Those vengeful lying whore accusers are just looking for a payday. Hashtag free Spinglecat. Hashtag Spingledeedoo. I think that's possible. I mean, he is an attorney. They all work for pay. But Spinglecat's pretty hot. You don't want to touch him. He'll taint your reputation if you try to defend him. But everybody deserves a stalwart defense, Janet. Don't forget that. Thank you. Tetrabax for 20 says, looks like I'm not the drunkest one tonight. You can change that still. Thank you. Casting Couch Crab for 10 says, my dad taught me that the truth can be gained from lefty media, but just assuming that the opposite of what they say is true. Unfortunately, I realize this applies to righty media as well. TMSMD. I totally agree. Actually, you can't rely. Nothing's the truth. If you don't observe it, if you can't shoot at it, it's not true. It's not real. Thank you. Buzz Burridge for 5 says, attention all Pajeets, you have to go back. That seems to be an increasingly popular opinion. By the way, when I was doing my India Gumroad video, I don't think I even mentioned this, but I was just looking for like Pajeet memes to show, And I noticed when I was searching certain terms, I got a Reddit thread that was like in a special subreddit dedicated to like Asian male masculinity. And it was a guy who was like, why all the sudden hate for like Indian people, like in the last year? And then all the comments were like, my brother, do not worry about white people and their silly thoughts. You just work on your Sigma grind set and you make millions of dollars because Indian people are so rich and prosperous in the United States and their own lands. White people are so furious at our great wealth and success, brother. I'm like, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's how that works. And okay, if you insist. I'm so jealous. Lucifero 210 for one says, in base China news, after making Ubisoft adhere to DEI programs and absolutely fucking tanking its stock, Tencent is in talks to buy out Ubisoft for pennies. Absolutely fucking base. Another Tencent win, boys. Tencent, bring it home. Yes, you will implement dumb shit ass fucking policies, and yes, we'll buy you for pennies on the dollar when it's over. Xi Jinping sends his regards, Goyam. Ralph is bald for 3 says, how I feel being a black man listening to Maddie. And there's a 19-second clip. Okay. I guess black people are too poor to afford the $10 clip rule, but we'll see. I'm inclined to listen to this because I'm curious.
You know, I love my people. I wouldn't want to be anything but a black man. If God asked me in the next life what race I want to come back as, I'm picking black every day of the week and twice on Sundays. But I feel like some of us should be slaves again. You know, I love my people.
Black people that make me laugh are okay. That's my rule. Are you like funny? If you're black, are you at least funny? That's all I ask. You just gotta be really funny. That's my only rule. Thank you. Lucifero 210 for 1 says, Ethan is a Hassan dick sucker. Oh, Ethan, Pethan. Yeah, okay, I got you. That's great. Great to know about him. He's a bread tuber, so he has to be, I think. Aryan Queen Generator for 2 says, I was watching the Brownie video and I was wondering what the overlap in Hello Kitty Woman to Pro Anna Woman Venn diagram is. That's a great question. It's a really great question, actually. Probably pretty high. Because it's like a beauty thing. Hello Kitty is just like the epitome of cute. That's why it was like scientifically created by top Chinese minds to be the cutest thing ever, right? So women that are like obsessed with like beauty and cuteness are gonna like Hello Kitty. It seems to make sense. Judy Tester for 2 says, why did the previous user think it was a brownie video? It was obviously a cake video. That's an in-joke that you'll only get if you subscribe to the Gumroad and watch my Gumroad content. What are they talking about? Brownies? Cakes? Hello Kitty? The mysteries of the Gumroad content. The Mac user 751 for 1 says, Josh, next time public comment comes up for some important piece of legislation or government policy, care to let us know and point us to where we can add our voice as well? In the terms of the OCC thing, I didn't notice, and I think I did actually tell you guys to submit comments. I'm pretty sure I did. Because I did. I submitted comments. I will, for sure, if I notice ahead of time. But those things, I don't know. I have to start paying more attention to it. I need to find some way to lock in to new rules and shit that are being published. However, we submitted our comments. It got passed. I said, I'm cautiously optimistic. And then a week after Biden got into office, they paused it forever. So whatever our comments were worth was nothing after the administration changed. Claudia Dante for 5 says, sell stock because it's a bad stock. Say you sold stock because it was a bad stock. No, this has to be illegal. Mods ban this guy. Look, everything involving stocks is fucking illegal except losing money or paying the IRS on capital gains. Those are the only 2 legal avenues when it comes to stocks. So I'm in my right to speculate. Things might be illegal. The Lion King for 1 says, be jammin', and I hope you like jammin' too. Thank you. MadClaw95 for 5 says, Josh, what's your most underrated pizza topping? Mine is a potato. A good white base pizza with potato, herb, and bacon is just pure heaven. Throw it open to chat if you can't think of any. I mean, besides hollandaise sauce? I mean, you put the hamburger on the pizza, with the hollandaise sauce, and that's pretty fucking good. I like banana peppers a lot. That might be underrated. What you're describing, by the way, is just a dish. Like, if you just get potatoes with, like, a hollandaise sauce or whatever, and you, like a bechamel, and you put, like, herbs on it, and then you bake it, and the herbs, like aromatic and shit, you don't need a pizza for that. Putting carbs on top of pizza is a bit weird, because pizza is already carbs, so you don't need to add potatoes. Aox4 for 5 says, "Good night, Jersh. Here's your supper, pal." Night, Spiggy. See you in the morning, pal. Pancake Luchador for 1 says, "Semi-retarded sounds like like a Faith More or Prong song. Have a good one, Josh." It was definitely, I think it was a slam poetry. I'm going to be real. Ho Ho Holocaust for 1 says, "Josh, when you become a millionaire from your various businesses, what fancy car will you be getting?" I've talked about this before. I think there was a car that I really liked. I was behind one time in Florida, and I liked how the rear looked. And I think that I believe it was a Chrysler Crossfire. I think that's what it. I deduced this on stream once, and that's what it was. It was a Chrysler Crossfire, which wasn't even that expensive for like a luxury car. But honestly, getting a fancy car is at the very fucking bottom of the list of things I would ever buy. I would much rather buy extra land or something. Like, and start up like a rental business. You know, there's a rapper, and he was a one-hit wonder. And for some reason, this story, I think I've told it like 8 times, but I'll tell it again. He did that song where it was like, "I got that King Kong, King Kong. You can see me before you hear me. Or you can hear me before you see me. You can hear me before you see me. Got that King Kong." It was like a song about like his bass speakers in his trunk. That guy hit off that one-hit wonder and then retired immediately and started up like a rental company in Dallas, Texas. And just became a landlord. he made one hit song, got the foundational money for his business enterprise, and just became a landlord in Dallas. I'm pretty sure that's what he did. Now he's set for life and doesn't have to rap anymore. I don't know. I like that. It's so funny because it's like that's such a smart thing to do. And he made one of the dumbest songs ever. Like, even by rap standards, it's just profoundly retarded. But it worked, I guess. Mouse Cop 5 for 5 says, "The guy in Fight Club who gets his face fucked up by the narrator is played by a young Jared Leto in one of his early filmers." I literally did not know that. That's actually very fascinating. That's why I want to see his face caved in. Who would have thought? The Lion King for 1 says, "YMS is based in Lion Pilled." Ew. Haramburger for 2 says, "Thanks for reading up the Roblox financial report. It basically reads as a subversive list of great new games to try, recharging my account with 20 Robux and my avatar is bussin'." Bro, you better be careful what you fucking say. Fucking moderator for the Kiwi Farm saying this shit. Fuck you. Sneedo for 10 says, and there's a link to the Man at the Internet thread. Okay, let's check it out. Oh. This is a white man, an old white man getting arrested, and he decides to crack a little wise while getting put in handcuffs. It's buffering, chat. Have faith.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
What's funny is that the cop arresting him doesn't react, but the cop recording is like aware, I cannot laugh at this. If I laugh at this joke, it's fucking over for me. So he like turns away and he's like actively stifling a laugh the entire time. It's just fantastic. Thank you. Coliante for 15 says, "Dax's cocaine is sourced from cocoa plants growing in an Inca mass sacrificial burial pit. Descended from the bloodthirsty priest, he is immune, but the curse claims all others who snort it." He wishes he was as fucking cool as an Incan priestess or whatever. He's related to, like, I don't know. It's like the most boring. He's like whatever people were like farmed for human sacrifices by the Aztecs and the Incans. Not the Incans, but the Mayans. In like central Mexico, they weren't cool. They didn't get to do any human sacrifices. They just got farmed like human cattle for sacrifices. That's where his people are from. The gypsies of Mexico. Thank you. Grognan for 10 says, Twitter link. I'm a Gazan Christian. We drape the keffiyeh over the cross to symbolize our resistance to the ethnic cleansing of our lands and the destruction of our churches. We will return, we will rebuild, and we will drive the Israeli army off our Christian lands. Are you offended? Good. And then Dahlia Kurtz with the Star of David and a Hebrew name says, I'm not Christian. Yeah, I fucking figured. But I am greatly offended by this. Christian and non-Christian friends, how do you feel about this? And then there appears, I guess what she's trying to imply is that this is a cross with like a Muslim do-rag over it. So she's like, oh my God, they're putting like an Arab terrorist thing on a cross. Christian bros, more money and arms for Israel. And then this Gazan Christian's like, nah, bro, fuck you. If only. Thank you. Colts for 5 says, were you actually kicked out of a shop in Serbia because they recognized you and because you hate Jews, like that Swedish podcast said, story time? No, dude. There was like some fucking schizophrenic who said that I was up to like all these hijinks in Serbia, and it was just like absolute fucking nonsense. There's no story. Tetrabacks for $200 says, great stream, have a spooky Tuesday chat. Well, thank you very much. I will have a spooktacular Tuesday. Appreciate it. Keth King Can for 10 says, why do you have a carbon monoxide detector? You have to be legitimately insane. Don't you live in a Serbian apartment? Why can't apartments have carbon monoxide? It's built into the fucking wall. Why would I not have a carbon monoxide detector? I don't get it. Thank you. Sneak Cricket for 20 says, what? Pig, you go home. And I have a feeling that this is a video where a Japanese vehicle has an announcement. This is what pig, you go home. It is, in fact, that video. What? Why is there a naked baby in my suggested with 1.6 views? What the fuck is wrong with YouTube, man? I love the way that he rolls the R into the words like, what pig? Very forceful and aggressive. Harameter, thank you by the way. Harameter for 2 says, regarding your Hey Arnold clip super chat, it's just a comfy Amerishart slice of life show for shithole cities. The kids just getting by. It's, just stress. I've seen Hey Arnold, bro. You know what the fuck it is? I just don't understand the relevancy of that clip. Sneedo for 1 says, I hate it when retards say just because this trans woman did something horrible doesn't mean you should misgender her. These faggots need a brick to the face, bro. That video from Mark Oliver was like, oh my God, and then Thera totally fed this guy to pigs. It's a fat, gross granny tranny shitting himself and killing people. I think it's safe to just say that he's a fucking nutso tranny retard. I don't think that you're honoring transgender folks by saying, oh, it's a beautiful woman that shits herself and feeds men to pigs. Come the fuck on. Baja Blast Enjoyer for 5 says, fuck AM radio, you should host Maddie on XM satellite radio. That just is internet, bro. I can get deplatformed from that. Devious DeV for 2 says, here's another $2 for the fun. How much do we have to raise? to get a shortwave? I don't know. I'll crunch some numbers for you, bro. Lucifer 210 for 10 says, X-Link. Okay, let's check it out. This is a anime avatar saying, imagine working years to build your reputation as an intellectual, and the only thing you're known for is letting your wife sleep with black men. Is this not Destiny? Yeah, it is Destiny.
Can I answer part of the question?
No.
First of all,
my name is John, and I have a question for Steven. It's the really only question that should be asked at an event like this, and this is gonna seem like a troll, but it's not. I just can't believe that it's true, so correct me if it's not, that you sat in a room or a corner of a room very much like the one you're sitting in now and just watched many other men plow the ever-living fuck out of your wife. Is that true?
All right, get it. All right, Boomer. We want to keep it on task. So we're gonna jump to the next gentleman.
Guys like to answer part of the question?
No.
First of all,
I want to know what his response was. Yeah, I don't know. He always like tries to play it off, and it's like, how do you live? Like I said on stream, I would literally fucking kill myself if I was Destiny and I had a clip where my wife was dancing with a black man after saying it's Mel time, like it's Morbin time. My next stream would be a suicide, and that's just the truth. I'm not even joking. I'm not lying. That's just how it would be. Ho Ho Holocaust for one says, "Hey Josh, big fan, love the streams. What is your favorite flavor of potato chips?" I've already said that I like the cheddar, like Ruffles. It's like cheddar something. I like those a lot. Those are really oily though. I'll tell you what I miss. This is my favorite like binge food, way back when. I would get one of those. I don't even know if they still make these, but they're called like Tostitos, and they're scoops. And then I could eat like 3 jars of restaurant-style salsa with 1 bag of those chips because it's like the salsa is like the best fucking thing ever. I could drink that shit. That's my favorite chip. I like the Ruffles if you're not talking salsa. Cole for 2 says, "The Flash gets his super speed from the Speed Force. You now have an unbreakable connection to the Sneed Force. What is your superpower now, Josh?" I guess shit posting on the internet. It's not much of a superpower. It's just sort of an innate quality. Humble Guardsman for 10 or 2 says, "I introduced 2 of my female coworkers to the farms, one of whom is black, and they both love it. Our ranks grow even larger." Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, there's Lipstick Alley, but we're better than Lipstick Alley, I think. One day I'll figure out how to integrate black culture into the U.S. and we'll be a superpower. Not into the U.S., into the Kiwi forums. Colts for 5 says, "Will you still let us know if you're going to play croquet?" I would still let you know if I was going to play croquet, my dude. Sneedo for 1 says, "Speaking of Hello Kitty, women are lining up at their local Marshalls for Hello Kitty blankets and ceramics. They're also fighting in the store for them, Lamau." I mean, they're cute. What can you say? Haramburger for 2 says, "Roblox clarification. I want to attack homeless people outside of 7-Elevens and simulate Middle East violence, not groom kids. You're an old head with no taper fade and El Riz. Sheesh." I'm just saying, bro. There's Juju the cow watches every stream that I do, and he can misinterpret your super chat. Anime Sucks Cope and Sneed for 7 says, "All kidding aside, I made this for you. What do you think? I think you'll like it. Not a dragon. Very good stream, dude. $10 for links." Keth King Khan for 5 says, "You don't live in a caravan or boat where carbon monoxide builds up. An apartment is not a place where carbon monoxide is a problem." I've heard otherwise. That's why they all come with them now. The Lion King for 1 says, "We make it out of the hood with the King Kong." Yeah, we show is and shit. Sneedo for 1 says, "The queso Ruffles." Let me find it real quick. We will end this with a picture of Ruffles. Here we go. I think these are like the most popular kind. Don't know how you could not know what I mean. There we go. There we go. That's the good shit right there. That's the bag of chips. That's the chips with the cheddar on them. The chips. Chips with cheddar. Sour cream and cheddar chips. Ruffles. Cheddar chips. There we go. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I will be back on Friday. And I'm still deciding if I want to do any video game stuff this month. So I will let people know extremely short notice as I do when I decide on it. Thank you for watching. Take it easy. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.
I can't seem to face up to the facts. I'm tense and nervous and I can't relax. I can't sleep 'cause my psycho killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est?